into that.
The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the Panther. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting 5 forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, blue jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. So hot to death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pros course. Biz market wave, the starting 5 goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the 4 letters. The latest news, score stats in the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season. The people starting 5. We going in on 3. Run the baseline, starting 5. Get it. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on 3. Run the baseline, starting 5. Get it. We got what you need. And y'all know me, 7 sign. I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
God damn it! Each and every week, this weather has been giving us all the heat we need for sure. That's for damn sure. Today's another great day, but you know who I am. You know who this is. Your boy the Mayor, that DJ named H5. Your mom's favorite fat guy. Not from a deep dark Africa, but from a deep dark America. And we're gonna get into all that bullshit on why it's so bad. But as always, hit the box next to TJ's head. I'm sure I'm pointing the right way now, right? Am I pointing the right way to y'all?
You are, buddy. You are, buddy.
You know,
I'm so appreciative.
My screen is mirrored for me.
I'm so
my
happy,
screen
man.
mirrored for my face, but it's got me pointing at the house window and not the thing, but you know, it is pointing there now, right? Go to our affiliate W, 10% off your order using the code STAR5. And most importantly, being that it is barbecue season. And yeah, I'll explain why I didn't invite the world. We just had a barbecue. Hookshrub.com, 20% off your order using the code STAR5. But I'll explain that in a minute when the whole how's my week. What up, TJ?
What up? Excuse the nerd specs right now. I'm doing double duty. I'm on call for the job, so you know, answering some emails and some Teams calls. But besides that, it's been a great week. Had a good 4th, you know, nice barbecue. Had lobster tails at a barbecue. That was
fancy.
Chef's kiss. Lobster tails, steak. Anything you pretty much wanted on the menu was there. It was empanadas. It was gluttonous. I was a fat bastard. I paid for it the next day, but I'm better for it now. Anyway, good week, good time, loving this weather. I really need to be living closer to a beach. This would just make things perfect. So continue on with the dream, the goals, and you know, taking it light on this Sunday. What about you? Oh, you taking it light this Sunday?
Yeah, man. You know, it's your boy here, your boy in the building. Trying something new, man. I'm here on time. You know, so I'm not used to the introductions and, you know, beginning of the show, man.
I'm glad you said that because I was gonna bring it up, but I was just like, I'm gonna chill.
Hey, man, yo, I already see, you know, you got the lobster tails on deck. I'm just like, yeah, we're not getting no invites. If they got lobster tails, once they back out the lobster tails and the steaks, you know, everybody not getting no invite, man. So I get it.
Everybody can't come, man. Everybody can't come, bro.
Yeah, I get it, man. Hey, man, it's drumsticks on the grill for y'all, man. That's what y'all getting.
Hey, some thighs, you know, the hamburgers and the hot
And
dogs,
the
man. Still a
glizzies.
great
and
day.
hot dogs.
Still a great day.
Word, word, man. But yeah, man, this is your boy here, man. Enjoy, I enjoy my fourth to, do some stuff on the grill, whatever. I find any reason to get on the grill though, so that's nothing. But yeah, man, looking forward to a good show, man.
Yeah, my fourth was definitely not celebrating the country. It was it was the
Celebrating his
day that
day
we
off.
was it was the day that we reserved to actually celebrate our graduates because two and the three graduated from something this year, and we told them like, yeah, we do something for y'all. So we set up the barbecue. It was just like, yo, invite all your friends from your class that graduated, yada yada, and that's what we did. And y'all seen Izzy's pictures, but they family. So it was like the closer the close came through. It wasn't the friends barbecue yet. It wasn't the friends barbecue yet, which eventually I think I'm gonna have to do because it's long overdue. Rest in peace to my friend Isa. I didn't get to give one because she would ask me every freaking year, "When's the barbecue? When's the barbecue?" She ain't here for them no more, so I got to do a friends one. But yeah, like I said, shouts out to Ian and Iz and Ian's mom Margaret, his sister Courtney, and little Ian, who he also graduated high school, also getting that ride to
That's right.
fucking Rutgers. It was a nice, funny ass surprise when they pulled up, and he's driving the car. I was just like, I was not ready to see this at all because my daughter got her permit, but I haven't had time to give her the lessons on my own, and I haven't had the money to send her to freaking driver's ed. But she's starts school. She's taking summer classes starting, I think, the middle of July because they wanted her math grades to be up, so she's got to take a summer class in math and all that. But yeah, the barbecue was cool. But I was little Ray and nephews and some lemonade, and I had a little bit of Hennessy. But the lemonade was a little too watered down at the time when I poured the Hennessy in. But yeah, man, it was a good fourth. It was definitely fuck America Day, and a
Man,
lot of people started displaying that too. What up?
when you said you saw little Ian pulling up, that just reminded me um the day I had to take my daughter to take her driver's test to get her license. And she was driving there. And I never seen this chick drive one time in my entire life before that day. She's like, yeah, Dad, I'm gonna drive us over there. I'm like, we gonna do what? With whose car? What? Where we going?
And
And we getting on the
where did she
highway
take it? But where did she take it?
up in
Because
up in Ossining by her mom over there. It was
oh,
upstate.
okay. Because I was gonna say I thought it was a New York like law where you're not supposed to drive to your road
They
test.
can't
Like
see you pull up, but you can
right.
drive there, like with a
Yeah, you could
license plate.
drive there and stop a couple blocks before.
Yeah,
You gotta stop a
yeah,
couple
yeah,
blocks
yeah,
before and switch seats.
yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. They,
They
basically,
know that.
they just don't want to see you pull up. They want to see you get out, do the switch, and then do it. And then she pulled off. It was kind of rough. I was like, oh, I don't think she's gonna get it. And then she came back, and it was like she passed. So I was proud of her for that. But yeah, man, that was just. I'm just sitting in the passenger seat bugging, like I'm holding on to shit. I'm buckled in. I'm like, I don't know if I should talk. Do you need quiet while you driving? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, word.
So
Because
I was a little shook.
the one thing I did with my daughter was we went around the block, and she's heavy handed, but heavy handed in that grip to where it's like
She
turn
don't
and
let it
she's
up on the
keeping her
turn.
arms stuck. She's keeping her arms stuck like this, and I'm there pushing the wheel because we're almost going into parked cars. It was like 2 or 3 times. And so what I've been trying to do was, which I haven't done it in a while, but what I was trying to do is we just at that one day that I let her drive around the block, we sat in the car and I just said, look, we're not getting out yet. What I want you to do is just have the car rev in idle and keep it at 1,000. or keep it to like the 1500 mark. Yeah, just keep your foot steady and try to keep the idle knot needle on at least 1,000 to 1,500. I was trying to get her because I was trying to tell her this is the way to train your brain on. This is what the whole driving thing is about. It's just pedal control. Pedal control. Like, I mean, to this day, I still do shit and like I'll hit turns in a certain spot where people are braking.
Yeah,
I'm already
gas.
I'm already off the gas enough to get myself into the turn and then know how to accelerate through that bitch to then hit the shit, kind of like taking on the street, but like I still practice shit like that and do shit like that, and certain spots I'll purposely not press that brake so the cars behind me can be like, hey, you could do this too. So maybe in like an ancillary way, I could develop some people to be like, stop being a slow motherfucker on the street. You can do this too.
Dan, I pray. I try to use that logic when I take some of these turns and I'm cornering. I'm like, you see, I let the car take me through the fucking turn, and then I just got on the gas and we just kept on going. Right. It's called late braking. You brake late. You know what I'm saying? You get into a speed and you know what you got to go into because you took the turn too fast before and you took the turn too slow before. So now you know the sweet spot. So now just let the car coast through. And by the time you're in the turn, you're hitting the gas and you launching out of that bitch and going on. But I also learned that driving stick too. So driving stick made me a much better driver than just opposed to just driving standard.
Well, you got me there because I never had the damn patience for that shit. Driving stick, man.
So much fun.
That's what they say.
I haven't
to you go to the Bronx. You know, you got to deal with all them damn. you had a stoplight on the hill. And you want
to hear the first car I had stick was an old Ac Integra, right? And it had a very high clutch, so you had to bring your leg all the way up.
Oh damn!
So sitting in traffic, so when you're sitting in traffic, and I got to sit a little bit closer to the steering wheel, and I drive stick than I do standard because you want to be able to get that shifting down perfect. So, bro, bringing my foot up and down and stop and go traffic like that, I almost caught a cramp in my fucking thigh, bro, because it was just, I was like, yo, this is for the birds, man. I can't do this shit. But then when I drove a European car, like a BMW or a Volkswagen, and I'm trying to cut that, my foot didn't even have to come up. I just had to lift my foot up off the clutch and go back down. And I was driving. I was like, oh my God, this must be like to drive like a race car or something, because I don't have to start all the way up here and mash it all the way down so my driving got much better as I got on. But yeah, man, you know, controlled braking, letting the car brake for you, downshifting, all that shit, man. It just changed your world. My head was on a swivel. I could drive. I was much more aware, alert. It just made me a better driver. It's not gonna make everybody a better driver. It makes motherfuckers more crazy, probably, because you take more chances with it because you got a little bit more control of the vehicle than you would just gas and brake, because you can do a lot of stuff while you're in mid-gear, in between gears.
First time I drove stick was my aunt had an old Isuzu Trooper, like way back in the day. The big shit. No, not the Trooper, but the big shit that was kind of like it was like the similar to like I think it was a Montero. It was but not the Montero Sport. It was a Mitsubishi Montero. Yeah, but like the old big one. I
used to love those trucks.
The old big Monteros, the ones that used to scare me because the motherfucking things had damn fucking tip sensors, like tip fucking gyroscope thingies in the dash. I'm like, if your vehicle needs to know that, if you need your vehicle that sight thing to tell you that you're sideways, nigga, it's too late. You're already on the ground. you're already on the ground. You know what I'm saying? But that was the first time I drove that, and then I think I drove my boy Flip's car like once, but I haven't driven a stick shift car in like 20 plus years now, easily. The closest thing that I had to it that reminded me, oh, okay, this is like driving stick, was when I had the motorcycle. When I had the motorcycle, it's just but it's foot and foot and clutch
Wrist.
on the handlebar, and that's it.
Right.
Holding it, and that's not hard. It's really not that hard. Like I probably could confidently get in a car right now and would be fine with the, it would just be remembering, oh shit, I'm in full control of everything. You have to be like in a regular automatic, like I said, when we're going slow, like yeah, okay, you think slow is safer. I think more accidents happen because people drive slower. Because people end up doing a lot more dumber shit going slower. And I know because I'm sitting there, no hands on the wheel, chilling, coasting through shit with no hands on the wheel, sometimes making turns with no hands on the wheel. I can fucking eat a full plate of food while driving on my phone. Or like I'm so confident in how great of a driver I am. You know what I'm saying? Like I do dumb shit just to challenge myself. I do all the fucking time.
That's how I knew I was nice with stick shift, because I was eating a slice of pizza driving at the same time. And if you got to eat pizza with your hands, and if the shit is like any kind of greasy, leaky pizza, you got to be on top of your shit, right? So I'm there eating the greasy pizza, downshifting, making sure I'm hitting the skip on the fucking CD player and driving at the same time, bro. I was like, yo, yeah, I could do this. I'm good.
That's why I always looked at, people getting tickets for being on their cell phone as a joke, because there's so many other distractions that you can have in your car without said cell phone. You don't need a cell phone.
There's certain people though, when you see some of these people and they're the car ahead of you, but driving an 18-wheeler's length apart from the car in front of them. And then when you get past it and see them and they're driving not like chilling like this where you know where all the keys are. No, they're like up like this. Like planes, like come on.
Driving, yes, you're right.
I text and driving, nigga. You wouldn't even know I did it because I'm here like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know I'm playing. Paul's playing with my phone on the side. Like you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
The worst is people who have Bluetooth in their car and they're still on the phone like this. This shit is annoying, bro. Why do you have the phone to your fucking ear? You got Bluetooth in your car, bro. I know you got Bluetooth in your car. It's 2025.
There's reasons for that, though. There's reasons for that. You might have the whole family in the car, and then the wrong person calls. Oh no, you in the car by yourself. That's different.
That's in the car by yourself, and you doing this? You doing this, bro? Come on, man. Then don't answer the phone when you're driving. If you got that type of problem, don't answer the phone when you're driving. Just turn your shit off, bro.
What up, Tyrone?
Put your car on auto mode.
Yeah,
it will never ring. What up, Ty?
What's up? I'm here.
I hope it smells good in your area. I hope you're not buying
Bro. I wanted to kind of discuss that with Dan, but I don't know what y'all were talking about when I came in. So
we weren't talking about.
Yeah, no, well, we didn't. No, you didn't miss anything because we were doing our normal bullshitting because we started talking about driving and how like our kids and my homie's kid came up to the barbecue driving to the fucking thing, which fortunate for them, they had the designated driver, so they was able to take down whatever drinks they wanted because his ass drove home. You know what I'm saying? Because we was just talking about just how fucking people suck at driving, so that's what we was just kind of killing time with. Sucks at driving. But since we there and you talking about Funky Town, we talking about Funky Town, Philadelphia right now. Like, let's just get right into it, yo. Like, I first and foremost, before we lay it out, I hope you are not scabbing the union as a union man and taking these shits to these fucking sites. I just hope you're not doing that. I hope you're not, But yeah, to those who don't know, the mayor of Philadelphia has been trying to lowball the sanitation union down in the city of Philadelphia, causing the workers to go on strike because she feels that they're undervalued. Yet, from a person
No,
who
no, no, no,
used to
no,
pick up
no, no, no.
garbage,
Dan. Correction. She
right?
feels she feels that they're overvalued because she don't want to pay them.
Right. And so she's undervaluing them by trying to
Correct.
lowball them. Thank you for the
Correct.
correction because you're 1,000% right. So she's been trying to lowball these people, right? And so again, talking from a standpoint as a union employee who used to pick up garbage, now I'm just a supervisor watching people pick up garbage. A lot of people don't understand, and this is especially this goes to America and the big shitty bill that we're going to talk about later, and how so much of it is going to ICE and things like that. Like, just please understand that law enforcement is not, it doesn't even scratch the surface of most dangerous jobs in the world. And I say that because sanitation workers, if you look up lists of most dangerous jobs in the world and you stay away from the ones that come from the right wing websites that try to lie and put police officers number one, firemen number two, just because that's the base of this, they're not. Sanitation workers usually rank at least top 5 as most dangerous jobs in the world. And I can tell you that as a person who's been sprayed by hopper juice multiple times, or as y'all will
That's
call it, trash
nasty.
truck juice. I've been sprayed by hopper juice many a times. And with said spraying of hopper juice, it's what I like to call chemical warfare. You don't know what the fuck you're getting sprayed with. There could be bottles of water, bottles of piss, shit, freaking school milk cartons, rotten milk from houses, say a dead animal just happens to be in there and you're getting and all of that shit sometimes just compiles in the bottom of the hopper of the truck. The hopper of the truck is the rear part where the garbage gets thrown into. And then that shit just sprays with no direction, it doesn't have a plan on where it's going. But that shit can go right in your damn face. Perfect story. We was working a school truck and I was working with this guy named Jerry. At the time, he only had 11 years on the job and he was 74 years old. This man, we're at Murray Bertram. You know where Murray Bertram is, TJ Big O, right? Where One Police Plaza is downtown. We're picking up the school in there. Murray Bertram, also the famous school that Tribe Called Quest and Jungle Brothers went to. But not Tribe Called Quest, but Q-Tip and a bunch of the Jungle Brothers went to. But so we're picking up the garbage there, and out the side of the truck, a straight stream of white just hits my man from the left side of his body, from the top of his head, straight down his whole side to his toes. And I was looking at him like, yo, do you want to go back? Like, we're almost done, but you want to go back to the garage and clean? He's like, no, I'm good. And so I was going like this.
Nah, bro. Home.
No.
I'm a chemical hazmat work site. No.
TJ, chill. He did that with his glove on his hand, wiping his face, clean himself. I was about to, and I was on some like, yo, I want to throw up. But then I was like, no, he's 70-something years old. He's already close to the dirt as is. And my grandmother always told me, you end up eating a pound of dirt plus before you die, or way before you die, because it helps build your immune system. His immune system has been built, constructed, computed, in however multiple ways. That shit didn't hurt that man. But point is I brought that up is because garbage pickup is that important. And we people who pick up garbage on a daily basis, again, you, the public, don't know what the fuck we, the garbage men and women, do on a daily basis to pick this shit up. And so for a city to make these people feel like they are underappreciated, and not pay them properly, it's a slap in the face. And it sucks that Tyrone, your city is going through this shit right now, but so fucking be it. Because sometimes you need to mobilize and move like this in order to get people's fucking attention.
Yeah, they got those sites, and the thing is too, if I don't know if the people are showing solidarity or the people are just being nasty, because like I understand we can't put our trash out, so now I got my trash and I got my cans outside and I'm stacking it up, I'm closing the lid on them and trying to keep them in the yard till this thing is over, till it dies down. But the fact of the matter is, like, we trying to show solidarity, but it's still nasty. I mean, I see them the sites that they got, the dump sites. Man, it's disgusting the way people are just going out there to the dump sites and throwing the trash out there. Now I know it's kind of, we sending a message to the mayor, but at the same time, man, we still live here. So it's like a two-edged sword for me, because it's like, yeah, we want to send a message to the mayor. Yeah, we want to show camaraderie. Yeah, we want to support these trash truck people. But also, that's just nasty, bro. We making rodents. We making all kinds of problems go on for people who live in the areas where these dump sites are at, too. So it's like, don't take your trash over there. You can go. They got protests. They got the unions have their little things where they stand up. You don't have to be a union member to go out there and hold the sign up, show your support. But all these people that are just getting trash from everywhere and going to these sites and just dumping it out on the streets and filling up these dumpsters and packing these dumpsters around, you're still hurting your community too when you do that. And so I'm just like, we got to find a balance of support and a balance of, like, be careful what you're doing too.
Well, I think in this situation, the balance is not going along with what the mayor was saying, and she was trying to make, to what I understand is, she was trying to make dump sites the public parks as dump sites, and it's like, nah, fuck that. But then I started to see some pictures and videos and stuff of, they've been putting containers on the corner, like on corners and shit. Like, I'll go that far. Like, I'm not putting the shit in the car. I'm not walking it to the fucking neighbor. Why am I gonna go ruin the park? But then again, I personally have the different unique advantage of the job that I do and the job that I've done to understand, not fuck that. You know what? I'll take the inconvenience. And just as an empathetic person, it's like, fuck that. I'll take the inconvenience to make sure people are better off. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm talking from a place of privilege, because I will tell you for a fact, nobody gets paid like we do that picks up garbage in this whole country.
No,
in
you
this
guys
whole
get
country,
top dollar.
nobody gets paid like we do.
Nope.
And to see how some of these people, my fellow co-workers, act like divas about pay, like I told these brothers in the beginning of the show, like, the way sometimes some of these people act, but the minimum thing that we do is just pick up garbage. But all the behind the scenes bullshit that y'all not privy to, it can be some bullshit. But when it's coming down from the leader of your city, the person that most people probably voted in place to help the city reach a better place, and they're the ones shitting on you, nah, I'm sorry, people of Philadelphia. Like, yo, like, you gotta send that message, TG. You have to send that message. But I agree with you, Tyrone. It sucks because it's nasty. It is nasty. It is nasty. And this is but on a strategy, this is the perfect timing because it's fucking hot. It's fucking hot. So yeah, it's gonna stink for a bit. The rats and the maggots and it's gonna come.
Yo,
but guess what, woman? Like, you're gonna have to realize.
Here's the thing. Once they do settle and get a contract and they clean up all the garbage, it's fine that they clean up the garbage. You know what stays? All the rats. The rats don't go with the garbage. The rats got a new home now. New city. Somebody put a call into New York and be like, hey, come down here. It's wide open down here, dogs. You need to get on this right now. It's open season. Yo, it's buffets on every corner.
The rats have already been there, though. The rats have,
but it's now, just like how I say, they're multiplying.
But TJ, they understand this. They're always multiplying. Like, for instance, I can show y'all right now, if y'all can see them, the city made us buy those garbage cans because to fight the rat problem. And and again, I say this shit all the time. Even as I say this shit. These rats have been residents of these cities far before we ever been here. They ain't going nowhere. It's just now we're feeding them.
It's easy for me to be like, yeah, I could go take some trash bags to the dump site, or I could throw some trash out on the corner and leave a message to this mayor that the trash got to be picked up. But I'm thinking about the people that live on the streets where the dump sites are, live on the streets of the corners where these playgrounds are, live on these streets where literally they're putting trash up, like they're putting like there are people now that have to move trash to get in their cars. They're moving trash to get in their cars.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, I want to send a message to the mayor, but I don't want to fuck those people up. I don't want to put those people in a situation where they got to walk through trash to get into their fucking house. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't do that.
So you're absolutely right, because there was a video of an older black gentleman, and he was on his house was on a corner of a dump site where they were actually moving a container and putting a container in, but that still didn't pick up. So he was yelling at the people. He was like, "Hey man, don't stack that shit up against my fence." Like his sidewalk was there, the fence was his property, the sidewalk in there is the curb. And
he was like, yo, I'm already getting rats. There's already rats in the building. You bringing in more rats.
You making this shit worse for me. He says, I get it. I don't appreciate it. I appreciate it, but like, yo, don't make my whole situation worse than what it is. I felt bad for dude, like, because like he's gonna have to build a moat and set a lake of fire around this shit.
And even I was gonna say, but even go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, here's my fucked up part about it, right? They got people that's videotaping of them getting out their cars with like 6, 7, 8 bags of trash. And I go, the strike was literally one trash pickup week. You only missed one pickup day of trash so far for this strike. Why you got 8 to 10 bags of trash in your car? So you either going around getting other people's trash to make that so you could put more shit on the dump site, or you is accumulating. You did your spring cleaning a day. Like, you know what I mean? Because ain't no, or you nasty as shit. Or I'm not coming to your house because you nasty as shit.
We just talked about barbecues. It's this barbecue season. You gonna have, if you live in a residence like where I live, we rent the first floor. I have neighbors that are upstairs. Them 3 garbage cans that I purchased for this guy, it ain't enough. It still ain't enough. It's still not enough. If for us to comply with what our city wants, which is they want the cans in secure fitting lids. You know, they want garbage in secure fitting lids on these cans because of the rats, because of the trash pandas and all of that. They want this stuff, but 3 cans ain't enough. And again, damn near $60 a fucking garbage can.
Yeah, who's doing that?
It's a grip. Yeah. It's a grip. And it's but again, to y'all, it's like, yo, because I'm on a certain end of this, though I'm not a Philadelphia resident, Philadelphia sanitation worker, but I've spent 18 years in this field. Like, I totally get it, and I totally understand on a neighborhood basis. Like, nobody wants their neighborhood to be nasty. Nobody. But it's like it's one of those things that just feels still. It feels like, yo, everybody continue to videos this shit. Post it. Keep tagging your city. Keep tagging them motherfuckers in the city until they finally come to the fucking table. And that's and for me, I look at it as that's the way to send that message. Because I can tell you, my job reacts like this off of fucking Twitter posts.
5 people live in my crib. If we had 8 bags of trash in 1 week's time, these kids is getting in trouble, bro. I'm not having that much trash in 1 week. We only literally missed 1 trash day. So for people to be pulling up with 8 to 10 bags of trash off for missing 1 trash day, that's kind of ridiculous. Now I can understand we got to send a message. Okay, if you want to send a message, take your regular trash to the dump site or take your trash to the park and put it there. But you shouldn't have 8 to 10 bags. That means you're making extra trash.
Yeah, but your 8 to 10 bag statement is like you dictating how a family showers. Also, like your family, like everybody takes one shower in the household. In your household, Why the fuck are you in your house taking 2 showers? Why are you driving your water bill up so high at this moment, man? Like the water, we're struggling. The city's struggling with water. Why are you taking so many showers? Why? It's like why you can't dictate how much garbage somebody's gonna throw out.
Yes, I can. That's a lot of garbage. 8 to 10 bags of trash is a lot of garbage for 1 week trash day, bro. How many? When I put my trash out, I put maybe 3.
I got 5.
Hey,
listen.
Hey, I got something to say, man. If any family was, with kids was thinking about getting a pet owl or a pet hawk, I think now is the best time to do it. You ain't got to worry about feeding them.
Word.
Yo,
but like again, I'm in a house of 5, and we generate some motherfucking garbage. Generate some garbage.
Let me tell you something.
I'm just saying, like, we generate some fucking garbage. I got my daughters are just as bad as boys, as they claim that we're all terrible. And I love my daughter, but they just as bad. Yo, we accumulate some fucking garbage, especially if you using just the kitchen bags. I'm throwing out like 5 to 6 or more of fucking, over a week. I'm throwing out a bunch during the week.
Those white bags, yeah.
Hey, Lou, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the regular big trash bags. These kitchen bags are little. I could put 3 of those kitchen bags in 1 trash bag.
Well, Tyrone, this is the perfect time to where we call doing jobs. This is where you could do a construction job right now and then go throw that shit out. Cause hey, I got paid for a dumpster.
Listen. Let me tell you something. And this is not being misogynist or feminist and nothing, but women.
I know some misogynist shit coming though. Come on with it,
bro. Women are the worst at creating garbage, bro. And I speak from facts because when I live by myself and when I live with a woman, it was night and day, dogs. I don't know what they do in the bathroom. They go through like a roll of toilet paper every week and a half because they're using it for 9,000 purposes. But everything, bro. I mean, it goes from 25% to 100%, just like that. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Women waste mad shit, bro. It's unbelievable what the waste is. I don't know what it is.
I'm good for fucking constantly grabbing new paper towels all the time. Like I'm good for that. I ain't gonna lie.
I stay with the 24 pack, man.
So I rip up paper towel. I realize I blew my nose in it. Damn, I'm not gonna clean my hands. You know what? Fuck it. Sometimes I'll fold it up and then whatever. But then I put it in my pocket. And then I realize, oh shit, damn. I just wet my hands again. Go grab some more paper towel. Damn, I'm frying some shit. Give me like 4 or 5 pieces to wrap up to put on a plate to dry on my thing. Damn, my hands got greasy. Let me grab more. I could go through a fucking half a roll of paper towel in like 20 minutes just off of basic shit. So I can admit I accumulate some shit too. Like,
yo, call me cheap, but I only get paper towels when I know company coming around, man. Paper towels is too damn expensive. $24.
You a napkin guy.
Yeah,
you a napkin guy.
My wife is crazy with the baby wipes. Like, she used baby wipes for every situation. So she wipe her ass with them. We can't flush them, so she got to throw them in the bathroom trash. She clean her face with them. She might wipe the bathroom sink off with a baby wipe. Like, the baby wipes that accumulate in my bathroom trash is crazy. And I keep telling her, like, yo, just use it. Get a bathroom rag. Just get like a rag.
Convert her to flushable wipes. Even still, those flushable wipes aren't always the best, but try to convert her to flushables.
She don't trust them. I tried that. She said, I don't trust them. You gonna be plunging this toilet. You gonna be plunging this toilet. That's what I'm telling you. You gonna be plunging this toilet.
Listen, Ty don't want to be responsible for clogging up the whole block. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna come back. They're gonna go to the line. They're gonna go to the main sewer line and see like 9 pounds of wipes. They're like, what the fuck is this? Who's flushing wipes?
Yo, listen, man, Tyler, they won't be able to trace it back
to you.
Killer. They won't be able to trace it back to you, man. When they finally figure it out, man, just be just as surprised Be like, I
He like,
never
God
knew.
damn. Yeah. God damn, who is using that many wipes?
Holy shit.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
Septic tank killer.
But yeah,
There you go.
the fortunate thing is that usually when strikes happen that kind of put a crippling on the city, they don't last long. Like even our public transportation, SEPTA goes on strike all the time and people panic and they handle that shit within a week or two because it cripples the city. And I don't know if the mayor's going to fold or if these trash people are going to fold, but I do know. I don't suspect this strike to last long because this city's crippling, bro. This trash is going to cripple this city. And I give it one. It's been less than a week and it's disgusting. So I'm thinking by next week, somebody going to give in.
Oh no, it doesn't look good for the mayor at all. Like she's not even. I'm sure she's not even thinking about re-election right now. You know, it's not looking good for her. You know.
But I don't know how much they make.
Not especially not during one of the biggest weekends of the year.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? For 4th of July wasn't on a Tuesday. It was on a Friday.
DJ,
you know what I'm saying?
That part.
DJ, that was planned. That union, that contract was negotiated a while ago. This shit was planned. They planned this. They said we're gonna strike on 4th of July weekend so that we gonna know for a fact that trash is gonna be fucking outrageous come the next week.
Tyrone. We are the union guys here, right? What?
Yeah.
The proper way to do that shit is to fucking plan just like that.
Right.
It's the 1000% right way to do it because you have the leverage, you have the power in this situation. Yes. And regardless, even if it was the winter time, we still got the power because even like Ed recognizes and said in the comments, garbage pickup is so key for a city's infrastructure and public health. I hope they get the best possible deal that's best for sanitation workers. And the way that I seen that the union rep for them was talking, like, we want 5-5-5. That's it over 3 years. 5% for 15% over 3 years. For a total 50. That doesn't sound, and I'm sure down there, again, that I can guarantee you they don't make the money that we make. I can guarantee that. But if they're making 50, 60,000, give them that shit because again, garbage pickup is one of the most essential necessities that goes over the basic public's head and don't understand how important and necessary that is to just basic quality of life.
Dan, you said something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, what's the real insanity of the situation is that this woman got on TV and said, we offered them a lucrative deal that gave them 13% wage increase, 13% over the next 4 years or whatever. And I'm sitting here going, when this man is saying that they only wanted 15%, and you get on TV and act like 13% was lucrative, so now you're telling us, and you're telling the whole community and everybody in Philadelphia that this trash dispute and this garbage and all this shit is going on is over 2%. You're fighting for 2%.
I was just gonna say, right before you got on, we were talking before the show started. Dan was explaining to us how the mayor gave herself this big, huge raise, and the staff all got 6-figure salaries and this, that, and the third. So all of that being said, this is all public knowledge, and it just looks bad. It looks horrible. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. She's. I mean, Eric Adams was thanks to his boy, in the orange dude. His job is safe, but yeah, he ain't got nobody like that.
Our Turkish mayor's job is safe until this nenext election. But what was you was about to say? You was about to say something.
Who knows, man? Because this dude, his opposition, they talking about getting rid of him too. So we don't know.
Well, you know what? Because we didn't plan for that. We have to talk about Zoran.
Yeah.
because I not right now, but I'm just saying like Zoran, and I'm gonna just keep it brief because I wanted to hear what you was trying to say before Tyrone made a statement, but Zoran is the fucking change that this city needs. And they are trying their hardest for the fucking smear campaign right now. They're calling him everything from a fucking terrorist to they're gonna try to find ways to deport this man, all types of craziness. All because he wants better for his city of New York. But this is the type of game that we play in politics, and
the racism is out of control for this dude. The racism is beyond out of control for this dude, bro.
The fact that he came out of nowhere, pretty much, and it shook the shit out of a lot of people. You know,
because motherfuckers are fed up, bro. They're fed up with the old white way.
Yeah.
They're fed up with the old white way, and they thought they gave Eric Adams a shot because they thought he would change and do the right thing, but they found out he was taking money under the table just like the rest of them. That's how he got elected, basically. You know what I'm saying? So now when you expose that shit and they see this dude is no nonsense, and he's not going to be putting up with all the bullshit and, you know, sucking off Israel and, you know, taking, you know, part in all this other crap. And they're like, nah, we're just tired. We're just tired of it. The real New Yorkers voted and they're just tired of it, bro. And he's going to win. He's going to win. When the unions backed Cuomo and when Cuomo lost the primary right there, the unions backed him now. So, I mean, that's all you needed. That's all you really need to have it in a can, pretty much. But we'll see. We'll see come November if you guys. I'm not a city resident, so I can't vote, but it still affects me because I work in the city.
And I couldn't vote primary wise, but I'm glad he made it through because I've been telling everybody this is the guy to vote for. This is the guy to vote for. This is the guy. Like he's talking about positive shit, like having city-run grocery stores, especially to maintain the low-income people. Like city-run grocery stores, so where it's like, yeah, like there's we don't have to fight for the price gouging of a Stop and Shop or fucking Key Food or places like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he wants to develop some shit to where there can be free bus lines. You know, and I don't understand how the MTA can't create that as is when those fucking crooks raise the tolls every few years because they cry broke, saying shit can't get fixed. But yet, when I'm working at the garage on 215th Street, almost every Tuesday or every other Tuesday, they're rolling in new train cars. They're always rolling in new train cars. They're always displaying new buses, as far as electric buses. Like, how much more crying broke do you need to do?
But
when you should be there servicing the fucking city.
The buses were free for like 3-4 years from COVID. And then they just reintroduced the fare like a year and a half ago.
Nah, it wasn't that long. It might have been like a year and a half to 2 years. It was definitely during the pandemic. Yeah. They were doing that because there were still people who still had to get to work. So they did that as like a good, like good faith. Like it was like bad faith acting, in my opinion. Like I was calling it too. I was calling it, and it happened. I said, be thankful that we got this free shit for now, but guaranteed once we get out the pandemic, they're going to raise fares. They're going to raise, and that's exactly what the fuck they did.
Yep.
Because they took it like, oh, we took a loss. No, you did.
So we need to recoup
by your community. You did great by your community at a time of need. And it's like, it's crazy.
I'm on the other side of the fence with the public transportation because I don't know how it is in New York, but I know that in Philadelphia, you can go from one end of the city all the way to the other end of the city for $2.50. So
yeah, you could do that in New York.
Okay, so when people are sitting up here complaining about the fare hikes of the public transportation, and then I see how these people act on public transportation, how they disrespect, and I'm
Ty.
It's cheap.
Ty.
It's cheap.
That's not the point. We're We're not talking about that. We're talking about the service. The service, bro. The service don't match.
Yeah. Exactly, because every night now we get it. Train repair, track repair is a must. Track maintenance is a must. Get hands down. But there's certain times where it's like full weekend plus shutdowns, where then now they got to put free buses in service to shuttle.
Yeah.
Ty, they wait to the last minute for the shit to fall apart before they do something, and then they cause more chaos and more confusion and more people upset because they didn't nip the shit in the bud like they were supposed. They don't do track maintenance; it's track repair at that point.
And TJ, and to really keep it honest with y'all, because I'm one of the people who have to, and I'm gonna say, suffer from this. I live on Staten Island, where the only access off of Staten Island is paying for the Verrazano Bridge. And now I'm only talking MTA because the Port Authority covers the Bayonne, Goethals, and outer bridges. There's only the ferry. There's a fast ferry next to it that costs, I think around $3 or so change. I would have to ask my wife. But that goes into 2 different stops on the west side of Manhattan. And then the Verrazano Bridge, which the Verrazano Bridge is fucking, it's, if you're not a Staten Island resident,
$13.
You're paying $20-something a trip. Hey, how much does that fast ferry cost?
I'm
$290. So the fast ferry costs $290, which is about the same as a bus and a train fare. So yeah, Tyrone, you can take, like, back in the day, my ex, when I first started dating this person way back, I used to have to take the 1 train from the first stop, South Ferry, all the way to 242nd, and then catch the B line, which was Yonkers, Westchester's.
God damn, Dan, you were wilding, bro. That was 3 hours, man.
It only it only lasted a few months. So
yeah.
But Tyrone, there was actually a video. I didn't watch it because I already knew in a way. There was some guy from YouTube. He took the longest route possible on one Metro card route, and it went from Long Island all the way to a certain part of upstate New York, taking Metro North. So there's flexibilities that you have within using the Metro card, but there's different costs. Like Metro North, you can probably pay it might be like $30+ to go from, say, Penn Station to some spot upstate and get off. You know what I'm saying? You can take the train. You can take the train from Queens, the end of the R train from Queens that goes into Manhattan and then goes all the way to Coney Island in Brooklyn. Or that's the N train. The R train stops. So you can take the public transportation, but it's not really all about the train setup because the bus services don't run everywhere. But there are different bus lines that run in certain places, and bus lines sometimes are way more vital to people getting to and from work than it is a train line, because the train, like there's a train on Staten Island, but it's only runs one side of Staten Island. We don't have a train that goes to Manhattan. We don't have nothing like that.
My thought process was in Philadelphia, right? Like you can go, I'm gonna say 25, 30 miles on $2.50 one way. Right, and these people get on this train and they disrespect the conductors. They get on the buses, they disrespect the bus drivers. They graffiti on the train. They break shit on the train. They break the windows. They cut the seats up. They do all kinds of shit. And I'm just like, public transportation is cheap as hell. If you work in North Philly, you traveling from West Philly, and you had to drive every day, or you had to pay Uber or a cab every day, you would be spending half your check. To say that you can spend $25 and get to work every day from West Philly to North Philly is pretty cheap. So when they say, oh, we going up on fares and people go crazy, it's like they go up a quarter and people go crazy. But I'm saying even if you had to pay $5, even if they went up or doubled the fare, $5 is still cheap. It's still cheap.
It's still cheap if you make a certain level of income. It's not still cheap when you are still on, say, $15 minimum wage, and you got to figure out, damn, now I got to pay $5 for a bus that I just was paying $3 for. And I still got to figure out now how to budget that on top of budgeting. I got to eat. I got to eat when I'm at work. My kids got to eat when I'm at home. It's
Tyrone,
like
Tyrone, I feel as though you know the answer to your own question, man. The only way you're gonna get all of that out of the public transportation, you already know. They're gonna have to raise that fare. It's gonna have to be like $8, $7, $8, $9 a fare. And then you're gonna get the so-called riffraff out of public transportation. That doesn't happen on Long Island Railroad.
No, but it ain't gonna. It don't stop it. It won't stop that.
But that doesn't happen on Long Island Railroad though.
No,
you don't see that. You don't see that on
you don't see it on Metro North. You don't see it on New Jersey Transit. I take all of them.
But well, that's hold on, TJ, because that's a rabbit hole conversation, because that goes into the whole redlining and all that stuff. That's deeper, right? That's deeper conversation. Go ahead, TJ.
Right. My thing is, right, I do take New Jersey Transit, which and the subway. So New Jersey Transit, I'm paying $11 to go from my house just to go to Secaucus to go into the city, right? But if I'm paying $11, I expect my shit to run on time. Not only run on time, if it's delayed, I expect they have a backup up and running. Yo, one time I had to wait they would say the train is delayed because they couldn't find an engineer to run the train, bro. I was sitting in Secaucus for 3 hours.
That's crazy.
Because they couldn't find a driver for the train, or the dude wasn't going to show up until it was the time to show up. Because I don't know how the union works. So if you don't have to be there until you need to be there, he's like, fuck it. That's not my problem. That's a you problem. Figure it out. Then that's what happens, bro. I'm not paying. What am I paying $22 a day for? When I leave work at 6 o'clock, I get on a 6:14 train, and it doesn't leave till 6:25, which makes me miss my connecting train at 6:28, and now I'm not home till 8:30. Fuck all of y'all. I don't want to hear shit. You getting double fingers for that, bro. The 6:28 train ain't waiting for me because the 6:14 left 10 minutes late. Now I gotta wait till 7 o'clock to catch my train.
Yep.
That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. What am I paying this money for? People are spending $300, $400, $500 a month to come into the city to deal with this shit on a regular basis. And that's why these people are frustrated. Because if I'm spending $500 a month, where's the return at? I don't need that return on the holidays when nobody's on the train. I can make it into the city in 45 minutes like I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to do that during rush hour. The fuck? Right. The reason I beat rush hour is because I'm on public transportation, right? They say less traffic, get you there quicker. No, it don't. Ha. Joke's on you. You getting there at the same time your man's getting there driving.
Yeah.
Yep. And you had to survive a crack. And you had to survive a crack hit like I did a couple months ago, having to walk down into the train station. I had to walk through a crack cloud. I was just like, I fucking hate this shit.
Like, yo, this is 2025. Why am I still doing this?
Why am I, surviving 125th Street?
It all boils down to that. Anything, and this goes for all 50 states, this goes for the entire country. Anything that's good for the people, these niggas is not for it. They are not for it at all. Childcare, food services, the quality of food, the quality of air, transportation, what we talking about. Anything that is good that gives back to the people, they do not give a shit about.
But check out the conundrum, right? Check out the conundrum. They don't want you to drive in the city. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to drive anywhere where it's a large population of people. Jamaica Avenue, you cannot drive on Jamaica Avenue anymore. Right?
They shut it down?
It's pretty much shut down.
It's a bus lane now.
It's just a bus lane. The whole Jamaica Avenue.
Are you serious? What happened to all those car dealerships they got on Jamaica Avenue? They got like 90,000 fucking car dealerships on Jamaica Avenue.
That's Hillside. You're talking about Hillside Avenue. Hillside Avenue is like 2-3 blocks up. But yeah. Jamaica Avenue, all those businesses that are over there, you know what I'm saying? All the small businesses, they're all suffering. Yeah, pretty much.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Bus lanes.
Yeah,
And
which
then,
I mean,
and then we go back to the public transportation thing again, right? So you got all these bus lanes. Are they running every 10, 15 minutes like they do on clockwork? Or are you waiting? You sitting there waiting 15, 25 minutes, a half hour.
And
You know what I'm saying? It's
and
like,
with and even
don't get
and
me
even
started
with the
on
bus shit,
Manhattan.
with the bus shit, you got to deal with the traffic. That's why they try to cut. And yo, yeah, you said don't get yo, fuck Manhattan, because and fuck this city because on top of shutting blocks down, like for instance, 14th Street, you can't drive on 14th Street no more until after 10 o'clock, 10 p.m.
That's
You
crazy.
can't drive on 14th Street until after 10 p.m. Because why? Because they had to free up the 14 that goes across town. That has to go across town. And I believe 14th Street is the longest block in Manhattan, goes side to side. But you can't, I understand you got to free up traffic for that, right? But now you just rabbit hole. You're building more ways to generate revenue by stealing money from people because people are just trying to get to where they're going. There's still traffic. There's still traffic that these buses still got to go through, even with dedicated bus lanes. And then on top of that, you reduce streets that used to be 5 or 6 lanes down to 3 and 4 to fucking
with the
install
bike lanes.
bike lanes that the fucking bicycle riders don't even fucking use. And
No, 'cause
then
you know who uses them?
in
All
turn,
the delivery cats.
and so TJ, so in turn, right? In turn, now you're turning to us and telling us now we gotta pay for congestion. We gotta pay for the fucking congestion they started.
Pretty much.
And then here comes Ty's favorite thing. We're gonna raise the fare. Because y'all niggas is ungrateful.
Exactly. Exactly. Because we broke.
I'm just saying, like, all I'm saying is, like, they want, like, accept the strike because they didn't have enough money, and the workers was on strike, and the workers wanted pay increases, and the way they did it was they raised the fare, so the fare went up 25 cents, so it went from $2.25 to $2.50. All I'm saying is that the people want buck wild crazy, and I'm just like, listen, $2.50 is still a good, reasonable price for you to go from West Philly all the way to North Philly. Like, you can go so far on that $2.50. So let's calm down a little bit, because, like I said, you're costing them money. They cost the city money. Them bus drivers want more money. You know why they want more money? Because of the way they get treated. They get spit on, they get snowballs thrown at them, they get disrespected, they get in fights and all that stuff. So they saying, hey, we need more money to be dealing with all this shit. So we're part of the problem. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
And that's all I was saying. Was like,
I hear you. I hear you.
And again, I agree too. I agree with you to a point because humans are stupid. Humans are assholes. We know this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't control the actions of what some of these dumbasses do out there. But again, to the cost part of it though, that 25 cents could make or break somebody's fucking wallet. It may sound crazy to people who make money. Like, again, I make a great salary. I can't keep a fucking dollar in my pocket though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard. It's hard. And that 25 cents, again, for people who are worse off than we are, that 25 cents in change goes up on their cost of transportation, and that can be a game changer for some people. Because yes, it's only $2.50, but it's still an increase to an output that they weren't prepared to plan for.
I understand what you're saying, but if SEPTA goes on strike, you ain't going to work at all. That's my point.
Right.
They can't
unless you walk.
You can't walk. You can't walk.
Not enough.
You can't walk, and you damn sure can't catch no Uber. So unless you can get somebody that's willing to give you a ride, if SEPTA goes on strike and you going from West Philly to North Philly, you're done with that job.
Let me
you better get on that bike. You better get on that bike.
Let me ask a question. Average household, how many vehicles do they have in average household?
One, for the most part. For real, it's hard. It's hard to. Most families don't have 2 vehicles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like I got
Them
one.
blocks are small.
For instance, we got 2 vehicles, right? We got 2 vehicles here, but I'm telling you right now, my car is a work car. My car got the bumper taped up. It's a work car. It ain't nothing nice about it. Now my wife, she got the nice car. When we going somewhere together, we can get a nice vehicle. But my car is a piece of shit. I don't fix shit unless I got to. I can Flintstone it to work. But that's just for me to get to work. But yeah, to afford 2 vehicles in this economy, 2 nice cars, yeah, that's kind of hard to do. So most families I know of, they got 1 car. In my situation, I got a work car, but
And in your city, again, with them small ass streets, the row home situations, not every part of Philly is row homes like that, but like parking, just like in 4 of the 5 boroughs, parking is a premium. Not everybody got driveways. Not everybody got garages. You know what I'm saying? Like so I understand. I understand how hard it is in Philly to just even maintain the 1 car. You know what I'm saying? Just to even to maintain the 1 car.
Listen, Dan. Listen, Dan. I'm 50. I'm about to be 51 in a couple months, man. I only deal with chicks from Long Island, man. They all got and parking. You tell me you from the Bronx or Brooklyn? Yeah, nah, it ain't gonna work. Because I'm ready to think about parking.
There's my car right there, but it's Staten Island like this. That's why I said 4 to 5 boroughs. My whole block is wide open, as y'all can see right now. On a regular work day, though, the people from the shop right here take up the parking. The people from the building, they got their own lot there. People who drive close to the ferry to park and commute park on my block. So that's the only time when parking gets sewn up on my block. But for the most part, it's never really hard to find parking.
I live running distance to Long Island Railroad, Lawrence Station, right? During the week, yeah, nah, you can't find no parking on my block because everybody do the same thing. They park near my block or whatever to get the train. So that's what it is.
Yeah, and then trying to find parking when you come home. That's probably a 2-hour task because you circling the block waiting for somebody to leave or
wait
somebody to run to the store. Yeah, you're just waiting for people to leave.
Yo, when I used to live in Brooklyn, yo, yeah, like Friday night, a nice Friday night, like how 4th of July. You're thinking like, damn, do I go out? Should I go out? I don't want to because, come 2 a.m. when I come back, ain't gonna be no parking, and that will mess up your whole night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, because it
I can
be
tell you for a
4:30 by
fact,
the time you go to bed.
In the Bronx, forget it. I've spent 2 hours looping my block before.
Yeah, I used to live in
waiting for somebody to leave.
That's why
I was a neighborhood. I was 2 neighborhoods up.
Yep.
That's why all the stadiums in Philly, Candlestick, the Citizens Bank Park, the Wells Fargo Center, and the Link is all kind of congested in this same area, right? And they charge $35 to park in their parking lot for any event, and they can get away with that because if you come down there, you have to come down there 4 or 5 hours before the event if you think you're going to park on the street to go to one of those stadiums. Because if you go down there in Broad Street during an event, that whole thing is parked up to the hilt, and them PPA people are out there every 2 seconds, and you only get 3-hour parking. So if your car is parked there and you hit the max, you only can stay there for 3 hours. So now you got to move the car before the event starts, or you got to get a ticket. You got to just say, fuck it, I'm going to park here, I'm going to go to the event, and I'm going to just take the ticket. Because
knowing that area of Philly, Tyrone, you are 1,000% correct because the stadiums are literally the Link and Citizens Bank are across the street from each other. Wells Fargo is right up the block. And if, like you said, now if your town did like what New York City does, and you got the app on the phone that now like you don't have to do the paper tickets no more, you just pay on the app. That's the only way you could get lucky if you were in the stadium, because then now you could just be in the stadium. Oh shit, my shit's about to run out. Paid on the app, you good. But even
No,
still,
listen,
that shit adds up.
listen,
no,
And $35
no,
a ticket,
listen.
$35 for parking at the event
No.
at the stadium is
No.
fucking cheap compared to what you got to pay out here.
no.
Yo, I
it's
was
not-
just
it's
about to
cheap.
say that. I would
Go ahead,
gladly pay
teacher.
$35. I would gladly pay $35
Word.
for every
Word.
event in Philly. Are you fucking kidding me? $35, dogs? I'll pay for you and your man's car. Cause I got it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'll drop a 70 quid.
Yeah, no,
Fuck outta here.
no.
What?
See, but no, see, you
What?
can park, but you can park down West Philly and get on the train for $2.50 and go right to the stadiums. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But here's the crazy part. Then what you're
Here's the
saying?
crazy
what
part.
I
Do I
said.
trust my car in West Philly? Do I trust my car in West Philly?
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah, right. $35, me, bro. Thank you. Thank
Here's
you.
the thing, though. What Dan said
Yeah,
doesn't
but it's
work.
about that let out. It's about that
What-
let out, though.
What Dan said doesn't work because of the fact that the parking signs only give you 4 hours. So if you pay, you only can pay for up to 4 hours, which means once that 4 hours is over, you have to move your car. You're
And now,
limited.
see, unless in Philadelphia that's the truth, but here in New York City, most of the signs are 2 hours. But if you get up to that 2 hours and you plan on staying, you know, TJ, and because you said you didn't party much in New York, but TJ, if there was that overnight parking meter, I'll be right back. I gotta bounce out the club to go put more money in the meter and run
Listen.
back in. You didn't have to
Listen, you
move
would-
the car, even with the
you
2 hour
didn't have to
limit.
move the
Plus,
car.
what was
just
it?
had-
After
you
seven,
just had-
after 7, you was good anyways, though.
That's
in
what I was
most
gonna
spots.
say. That's what
But
I was
in
gonna
most
say.
spots,
But
but there were certain spots that had the midnight sign. They got midnight signs out here for the sweeping also.
so Dan,
I noticed because I
Dan,
did the broom.
let me tell you what happened to my man. We all went out clubbing, right? He parked his car, and I was like, "You sure you want to park it there?" He said, "Yo, I'm good." I was like, "All right." Came back, his shit was gone. He said, "Yeah." Some dude was like, "Oh yeah, the sheriff came through with 4 tow trucks, cleared the whole block." Now you owe me. Now he owes me $350 because I gotta help him get his shit out of impound.
Out of
You know what I'm
impound,
saying?
right? And back then it was right there on the west side. Now
Yeah,
you got to go all the way to
yeah.
fucking Brooklyn. You got to go to the
Brooklyn
fucking
Navy
Navy. Yeah, Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Navy.
Navy
Oh no!
Yep, I know
Oh
about that.
no!
Work like that.
No! We are not doing that.
If the sign says 4 hours, then that means that you only can park on that block for 4 hours per car, which means once that 4 hours is up, your car cannot be on that block at all. You can't repay and start the 4 hours over. So
That's crazy.
that's how it goes.
That is
so
crazy.
If
That's
it says
crazy.
2 hour parking, that means your car can only be there for 2 hours. So that means
How do they know?
because the parking
How do they
authority
know?
people, here's how they know. So the parking authority people might, let's say the parking authority girl comes by at 1:30. Let's say she comes by at 1:30. At 3:30, if she sees your car again, you're getting a ticket because you're past the 2 hours now.
Here's the real trick. Because my sister works for traffic out here also. Plus, even cops told me this shit too, right? If the traffic agents are good at what they do, they usually will carry around a crayon or a piece of chalk or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
and they'll mark your shit.
Mark your tire, and then if that mark moved, it's hands off. It's hands off. They can't touch you. If you did it, you know what I'm saying? But that goes for more out here.
That's
like
old school.
there are spots out here, like for instance, the laundromat that I started going back to the same laundromat. But in front of there, it has 2 hour parking signs. And it's like an honor system 2 hour parking sign. Like you don't have, there's no meter to pay. But if you're there past the 2 hours and the traffic agent comes back around in 2 hours and didn't see you moved, then you get hit. But if they mark your tire and then they see that tire, just all it has to do is just go like this from here to here, just a little bit. You moved. The 2 hours starts again. It keeps clocking again. But the difference from what I'm talking about is like I said, we got like I have this shit because this shit comes through. This oh no, I went to Nicer's. Where the fuck is NYC Parks? This shit right here. This
Yeah, I
app
got
right
that
here,
shit.
all you got to do is just have the money on your joint. And if your shit's running out, you ain't leaving yet. Just you could do it right there on the app.
Yeah, yeah. But
But we
Yeah.
talked about all this
Tyrone,
shit with the city. That
Tyrone, New Yorkers would gladly pay $35 for an event because if you got to park anywhere near the Garden, anywhere near Yankee Stadium, City Field,
dude, how
not so
about the
much the
plays in
Meadowlands.
Broadway? The plays on
And,
Broadway.
yeah, bro, you're spending almost $100 easy in parking. The rates go up when the events are on. You got to get in at a certain time. If you're not in by like 6:00 parking, you're fucked.
TJ, you're gonna take the railroad LIRR to Madison Square Garden and Yankee Stadium. You do not want to park anywhere near Yankee Stadium because your car ain't gonna be there, and you ain't got to worry about the city.
About that. I haven't been to Yankee Stadium in a while, but my car was always back where it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? But like Ed said though, he said I love that Philly has their sports venues near public transportation. Like, but New York, we do too. We have the 7 line, the 4 train, the 7 train, the 4 train. You got the Barclays Center, which is Atlantic Ave, major hub right there for the trains.
And New Jersey Transit
the
definitely
Garden,
goes to the Meadowlands, right to the
yeah,
Meadowlands.
the Garden,
right in
the
front.
Garden. Yep, you could go right to Penn Station to go to like we have that too, but it's just I don't know. I personally I like the freedom of being in my own vehicle. That's
The
just
thing
me.
is,
I take what
that
comes.
New York has that what most cities don't have is all their sports are in one area. Like if you go, where was I? In Dallas, the Cowboy Stadium and Texas Rangers Park is only like a parking lot, a football field parking lot away from each other. Boston, you got the Boston Garden and the other joint right there. It's all most big cities, most of these cities have all their sports in a cluster around each other. New York,
That's what I just described.
Yeah, it's all over their boroughs and shit like that. Yeah.
That's what I just
New York
described
is the only
with
one
Philly. The stadiums,
it's just
Philly's. It's all right there. It's all on the same block, just about.
Yeah, New York is the only one that's spread out like that. It's one of the few places that is spread out like that.
But public transportation wise, there are central hubs to go to get to all of them. You can just go right to 42nd Street and you could get to wherever. You know what I'm saying? You got Penn Station and you could get to wherever. You know what I'm saying? But it's shit like this. Like, yeah, we went from, terrible mayor to a potentially positive mayor. Because once again, people being afraid of this word socialism, like it's some terrible thing. When socialism done right is actually something that helps the people. But then when you got dumb shit like this fucking, as they calling, one big beautiful bill, this is one of the worst fucking things. As I said in the show description, this is one of the most destructive bills I think we've all ever seen in our lifetime. All ever seen. And all we heard was all these Republicans claiming they're not going to cut Medicare. We're not cutting Medicare. We're not cutting Medicaid. We're not cutting Medicare. We're not cutting Medicaid. And what exactly is going to happen within this bill? Cuts to Medicaid are going to happen to where they're estimating around 17 million people are going to end up falling off of Medicaid. SNAP benefits, if you are a family in need, this is why, Tyrone, I was making the point of that 25 cents can be a difference maker to some families. When you have SNAP benefits gone now, okay, I'm an able body as y'all want. Y'all want this able body to work. And then mind you, to also stay on said benefits, they want these able bodies to work at least 20 hours a week.
No, they got to prove work.
They got to prove, but they got to prove that they're working at least 20 hours a week to gain these benefits. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to this is terrible, because now again you could perceive somebody's an able body, but then now they have been deemed an unable body and have been on SSI their whole life and things like that. And now what? Now what? There's going to be families who are going to crumble behind this shit. And again, so now you're a half able body who's home taking care of a sick loved one. You know what I'm saying? And you're only making $15 an hour doing that, you know, that like at home care program shit or whatever. But you need Medicare because you don't work for a direct employer. Now you got to prove that you're doing this and hope to get the Medicare, hope to get the Medicaid. You know what I'm saying? And now again, you're already been a family struggling, and you need food stamps, you need SNAP benefits. Shit, some kids in this country, sometimes their only meal is the school lunch. And now there's going to be a lot of public school lunch at schools that are going to lose funding behind this big, egregious bill.
I'm kind of torn apart by the SNAP benefits thing, only because I grew up in West Philly and I grew up in Philadelphia, and I'm telling you right now, I've watched countless people steal SNAP benefits my whole life. I know people that have been stealing SNAP benefits since they got them. I know people that have been on welfare for 30 years that have been stealing. If you're if half of the people that were stealing the SNAP benefits would stop stealing them, then a lot of the people that deserve them would be able to get more of them, and the funding would be there. So I'm kind of torn apart by this, because I'm saying, yeah, I do kind of want some more discipline or some more action on these SNAP benefits, because the problem with the SNAP benefits is that so many people are on food stamps and on SNAP benefits that aren't supposed to be, that are stealing them, and that's taking funds out. So they do. I know that this might be bad for some people who legit need them, but they do kind of gotta have sterner rules to catch these people that's stealing these food stamps and stealing these SNAP benefits.
All right, but the difference here is it's not that it's more stern rules. This difference is damn near eliminating the program. And what in my opinion, what you just stated, which is facts and to a point, you know what I'm saying? Like most of us, I grew up hood adjacent, you know what I'm saying? But there was times where I remember like my mother and father had to go get like the government cheese and shit like that. And when we go to Pathmark, like we had to shop from the no frills section, shit like that, because income wasn't incoming. You know what I'm saying? The income was tough. One income household at the time and things like that. So I understand the nefarious and criminal side of it. But what you did in the statement was how they treat, say, Muslims. You blamed the whole. You looked at the whole thing, and you magnified the problem within it over the millions that aren't that, and the millions that need it and do work right by it and do do what they do to get it properly and things like that. We understand, like we grew up in areas where there were bodegas that would take food stamps for cigarettes and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the stores knew that was guaranteed money coming back from the government. We understand those things, but that doesn't speak to the majority.
Correct.
Those speak to the ills. Those speak to the ills of what's going on in the communities, but it's not the majority. And especially when you go to these redneck states that voted against their interests, and all of these motherfuckers are now going to get kicked off of shit to where their healthcare is going to get torn up, and they can't go. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff within this bill is like, as I was reading, it was stating how people who had maybe an annual cost of like $1,500 on medicine, now you're increasing it to another $3,000 to $10,000 or more in certain cases to where it goes back to the statements once again. That 25-cent difference in the cost of public transportation. Now I got to choose. Do I get to work or do I get this medicine to fucking live? Do I eat to live or do I have to go pay for this medicine to live?
I was just referring to the fact that the bill said that the homeless people and some of the foster care kids that age out of foster care, they're gonna lose their SNAP. They might lose their SNAP benefits because they can't prove that they have income or that they can't prove that they're meeting the requirements for the SNAP benefits. And I'm saying, like, if they say, okay, these people don't have to prove it. Yeah, but if they say, okay, so if you're homeless, you don't have to prove that you got SNAP benefits, that you are eligible for SNAP benefits. If you are a veteran, you don't have to prove that you're eligible for SNAP benefits. So that's my thing. So there's a lot of people that are still going to have to prove that they're eligible for the SNAP benefits to catch the people that's stealing from them, right? So it's like,
I mean, it ain't gonna be hard to prove you're homeless, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, like, that was my point that I was making, is that the bill is saying that they got to have regulations for people to prove that they're on SNAP benefits. And the outcome is, if I'm homeless, I can't prove that. But it's like a lot of people are already getting away with stealing benefits. So they don't know. So they got to be like, they got to come up with a way to find out if you really get them or don't get them.
But let me ask you this question. Has the government done enough to find out how much they were losing from fraud, from SNAP benefits?
No, because when they catch you, they just catch you, they kick you off, and then
they made no attempt to find out whatsoever how much fraud is really happening with these benefits, right? They just said, fuck it, we're gonna wipe the board clear and make sure this applies to everybody. Instead of, like what Dan was saying, they just went with a broad sword instead of surgically trying to clean it up. And the right way to do it is going to take longer, yes. But for you to do that and made no effort to see where most of the fraud is coming from or how much they're being frauded, because I guarantee you it's not as much as they think it is. And it's not the people they think it is. And it's not happening where they think it's happening at either. So it's for them to be like, no, we got massive fraud here. There's massive overspending there. The only place that's overspending is the people that are making the rules for overspending because they don't want to get caught overspending.
I can think of certain neighborhoods.
Isn't that part of the okie doke though? You know, for your president or the powers that be that's spreading this bullshit and this overspending and people are not being forthright and this and that's the whole that's the whole okie doke, man. Because I mean, I can relate because that's what was happening to us in the beginning, back in February when they were cutting government jobs and all that. Because say Tyrone and TJ was supposed to be working at the VA. And they haven't worked there in over 15 years, but they're still getting checks. And I'm like, that makes no sense.
Right.
And
that's something they could have easily found out, though. It's just like doing an audit.
TJ,
if you do an audit, you could easily found out. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't do that.
And that's the thing. They were doing their audits and finding out, hey, wait a second, these places really aren't losing that much money. But as you said, the broadsword came across and just chopped without even thinking.
Yes.
It was kill now, ask questions later. And
Yes.
some of them lives you couldn't revive them.
Yes.
There was no fucking health pack in the corner or no garbage can that you could knock over and pick up the chicken to restore your health. Like them cuts was made already. Yep. Shouts out the final fight. There was no, what I'm saying? Them cuts was made already. There was no restoring this shit. And some people took them jobs back because they had to. Because the income constraints that they're already under, they had to go back to some of these jobs. You know what I'm saying? And then now, and so I mean, ultimately, when I'm gonna get to my point of ultimately what they're doing, in my opinion. But like then also, they're finally getting their wish on their attack on abortions. and millions or thousands of Planned Parenthoods are now going to have to shut their doors eventually. But again, the wormhole, rabbit hole discussion within those Planned Parenthoods is so now women getting STD, STI screenings is going to be gone. Breast cancer screenings is going to be gone. Shit, because of Doge, they already cut so much medical health research funding as is. They cut a huge cancer research bill earlier this year. As is. You know what I'm saying? Not part because of this bill, but part because of Doge. We just talked about a pre-show. The fucking National Weather Organization had to take major cuts. And now you got this town in Texas blaming the National Weather Organization because the readings and guesstimations, because if you know weather, it's a guesstimation. It's never always 100% right. This town got flooded, and now they're placing the blame on the National Weather Association when the state of Texas, as my man said, they can't even hold a fucking a slight ice storm. They can't even handle that. What would make them think that they can handle a fucking flood? But government cuts caused this shit. You know what I'm saying? Government cuts. But you know what didn't get cut? You know what didn't get cut? The fucking racism and bigotry that they're displaying by way of these fucking ICE raids. And but now we're gonna tailor shit and fix shit to get some of these farm workers, some employees back. Fuck you. You already ruined my trust. And why am I gonna go back and work? Fuck you.
They're trying to do it like some indentured slave shit where the
and that was where I was trying to get to.
The reformers are responsible for the workers, like they work under them under a contract, so that they can stay, but they won't get any citizenship and they'll still pay taxes. Why would I want to come back to that bullshit? For what?
Well, TJ, that's what employment is already. That's what employment kind of is already, especially when you're under government contract and government subsidy. So they give the money to the organization who then pays their employees. But now the employer can now say, fuck you, I'm paying you these pennies, and now figure out how to get here to work. Figure out how to feed your family. Well, I'm still going to collect this over here.
But then if they're paying taxes, then if they're employed, then they should be able to get unemployment, right? Because now they're listed. Also, now they got to pay them at least minimum wage. They can't pay them $3.80 or $5 an hour now.
Good
so
luck
what does
with
that mean?
If they even keep
up 1,000,
but if they even keep a fucking unemployment, if they even keep it, because again, they want all these people who they claim are able bodies back to work. And then again, back to the healthcare thing. They think that these employers now who've been cutting, now they're going to make sure that these employees come back on part-time schedules to where they don't have to pay into their fucking healthcare.
Yep.
This is all new slave shit. This is why they're trying to do what they're doing with the farmers now to get people back to work. Alligator fucking Alcatraz. Put more people in a fucking prison type setup. So then guess what? Now you can take those people out of there and utilize them on these fucking job sites that were now you don't have to you barely gotta pay them.
It's the same thing with the no tips, the no tax on overtime. Now you just don't get overtime. Why am I going to pay tax for overtime? You just don't get overtime.
And then I don't think there's anything in there for the overtime, but there is a thing for the no tax on tips thing, and that is you're good if you don't make the cap of you have to make the cap of $25,000 in tips to then get the no tax. So you have to make a cap of 25,000. Who the fuck? I said this to somebody. Who the fuck makes $25,000 a year in tips?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's a very select few. It's the 1%.
Yeah,
the people that work at these steakhouses, Noble, Peter Luger's,
Cipriani's, shit like that.
Cipriani,
right.
You know what I'm saying? The Palm, all those dudes because they make bank. They make bank as tips. They make bank as tips. So all those people are going to be eligible for it. Everybody else, fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Your mom and pop diner ain't making 25 G's in tips.
Nah.
Your mama pop diner ain't.
And this is the part of the bullshit. But this is the bad bill of goods that people got sold to vote for. Why? Because their 401k went up a couple $1,000s in his first administration. That shit didn't make barely a dent in my shit. And I know people, good friends of mine who, because I made money under Trump the last time. Imagine all these dumb niggas who was like, man, yo, that fucking stimmy, man, that stimulus check. Nigga, they had no choice but to give us that shit. And all they did was give us our.
That stimmy was not under Trump. All right, it was Nancy Pelosi and Obama before him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
let me ask you this though.
Trump delayed it because he wanted his name on the stimulus check.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So let me ask you this: all them people that had the stimmy, where they are now, are they making stupid money? Did the stimmy boost them up to like get a house? I don't see nobody posting, this is from the stimmy check, my house and my car in the driveway.
Dude, you know what happened to a lot of them people? You know what happened to a lot of them people? A lot of them people ended up getting fucking arrested because of the people scamming the system, saying that they all people were doing the joint saying, oh, I have a business and taking PPP loans.
Oh, the PPP loans.
People were taking PPP loans. And then again, you had people.
Well, you know what was the stupidest shit that happened?
Like Tom Brady and other stuff taking PPP loans, getting them bitches forgiven and not having themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what was stupid that was happening with my union, right? So they was giving out so you couldn't work. You get this, so they were giving out the stimulus checks, so they would stop working to get the stimulus checks, and then they would get off, and then unemployment was giving out an extra $300 per, extra $600 per every unemployment. So technically, being on unemployment was actually paying out more money than actually going to work for us at the time, right? And so a lot of the guys in my local were like getting off of jobs and staying on unemployment and getting that extra $600 every time and making more income on unemployment than they was making going to work, right? But what they didn't realize was when we go to work, every hour that we go to work, it puts money in our vacation package, it puts money in our 401k, it puts money in our annuity, it puts money in our medical benefits, and it gives us a good service year towards our pension for retirement. So I know dudes that sat out for 2 years that didn't have no medical benefits for the year, couldn't go to the doctors for the whole time they were sitting out, didn't put no money in their annuity, no money in their 401k, no money in any of our benefits package. And now, they set those 2 years out and they made all that money, but now they spent that money. They're back to their regular scheduled program, back to work, and now to retire, they got to do 2 more extra years.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's so fucking stupid. And I'm like, y'all fell for the okie doke. Yeah, they gave y'all that money. Yeah, that money might have helped you now, but it fucks you later anyway.
Dude, and I work a job where y'all, TJ and them know I was at work every fucking day. Man, listen, give me that pandemic back because 25 minutes door to door was fucking amazing. 25 minutes door to door. And the way I drive, 25 minutes door to door was fucking incredible. Or even getting from my house to drop my wife off on 45th Street to then get back downtown to Spring in Washington in 40 minutes was amazing. Give me that pandemic traffic back. But to everything you just said, Tyrone, it goes exactly what Ed said in the comment I left up. He said that shimmy check showed what cheap hoes some voters are. 2 G's to take it raw, no Vaseline. 1,000 fucking percent. 1,000 fucking percent.
2 G, you don't even know what you did with that $2,000, man. And I don't even think it was 2 G's. I think it was like more like 1,300-1,500.
It was like, yeah, it was like 12 to 1,500.
They did.
Yeah,
I know what they did. They got some new clothes.
Right.
That they can't
clothes
wear no more.
I guarantee you ain't wearing right now.
No.
Dude, sneaker boxes and Vizio boxes went up. No bullshit.
Yeah.
During they're throwing them out and they're throwing the garbage out at that. Sneaker boxes and TV boxes went up. by the
Yeah,
thousands
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah,
at that
absolutely.
time.
I'm sure.
But this is what you voted for. And this is particularly to the middle of the country. And again, the video that I seen before coming on here, I seen it yesterday, seen it today, of the fat dude who was talking about if my SSI gets cut, I'm blaming the Democrats because y'all didn't win in November. But nigga, you voted in November against your own shit.
That doesn't even make sense because we didn't win in November. So how it's our fault?
This is
the
what this
biggest
clown
thing.
said.
The biggest thing that pisses me off about that whole shit, and it's something that I think about all the time, man. This is the second time around. It's not like we can't use that excuse of, oh, we'll give him a chance. Da, da, da. No, we knew what happened the first time around. This is the second time around, and y'all voted for him again. People forget, man. People forget. I guarantee you, if the Cubans was given, if you gave them a third chance to do it, they'll vote for him again and say
Yeah.
it's the economy. They'll do it again.
I seen a post again before
If they're here to vote, they're here to vote.
Yeah.
that part
Absentee
because
ballot.
I seen a post again today pre-show about this. This person said, I want to know if I could take my vote back after his wife got fucking deported.
No,
Good
they took
luck.
your wife back.
Good luck.
That's
Good
you
luck.
taking
Good
your
luck.
vote back. They take your wife
Which
back.
again,
There's no do-overs. There's no press the reset button on the game because you lost. You know what I'm saying? This is it.
I ain't gonna lie though,
And-
man. I keep saying it, man. That's a catchy ass song, man. That I will vote for Donald Trump. That shit catchy as hell, man.
Yeah. It's a hit.
But again,
make sure
it's
they're singing out on the boat on the way back too. I will
right.
vote for Donald Trump.
But again, one of the worst parts of this bill, again, fuel racism, bigotry. ICE is getting like over $100 billion to continue, which, as we all know, ICE was running out of money this month originally. ICE was originally running out of money this month. Now they just got this spike of over $100+ billion to continue their quest of bigotry and racism. It's ridiculous.
Damn. Did you hear about they're trying to denaturalize citizens now?
That's
that
crazy.
part too.
But
That part
They're
too.
trying to denaturalize citizens now, and it'll be quicker because it's a civil matter. It's not a state or federal matter, so they can just denaturalize you and get you the fuck out of here now.
Which again goes in turn to allegedly, because I don't know how true the post was. Maxine Waters said, "Well, then we need to deport Melania." And if we're going, dude, and let's look at it like this. This goes directly to the Trump voters, especially the people out here in the Alabama, the North, South Shore, Staten Island, right? How many of your Nonas and all of that stuff are first generation, or your first generation because your grandfather, your grandmother came over here on the boat? And
wait a minute. That means
Now,
they're anchor babies, right?
My point exactly.
Donald's kids are anchor babies.
My point exactly. If you want to play this game, let's go back to the beginning of the game. Let's go back to the beginning of that first strip of Monopoly. Everybody hits jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
You got to roll a double.
No rolling a double. The double is we're starting with your family. Y'all voted for this. This is what you asked for. Y'all voted for this. Goodbye.
That dice is cocked.
Melania is here on some visa that's for Nobel Prize winners and people who are exceptional in their field of what they do. It's for like exceptional talented people. That's the visa she's here
what's
on.
her field? What's her field? Looking good?
Cheap magazines.
It definitely wasn't Be Best. It definitely
My whole thing is trying to understand the end game that you're feeding these people, because I'm just trying to comprehend, where does that benefit us as a country? So for all these people who voted for Trump, for all these people who support this, it's like you're looking at these bills and you're going, oh, they're going to take away Medicaid, which means more people are probably going to die. You know what I'm saying? They're going to take away SNAP, which means more people are going to not going to be hungry, more kids are going to suffer, there's going to be more homeless. They're going to take away the abortions and take away so there's going to be a lot of STDs going on around here. There's going to be a lot more STDs and a lot more unwanted babies that's going to end up probably in the system. So all of the outcomes of all of these things look bad, and people are still supporting this. Where I'm like, where's the good? Where is the good in this shit? So Tyrone, all you people that still supporting this, like, what are you supporting here? What are
racism? Racism. Make America white again. Make America the 1930s. No, again, this is what they say. The wolves, the leopards eating their face. This is what this is, Tyrone.
You know, not to mention, right?
This shit affects more white people, though. It affects more white people than it affects. So
allow the leopards to eat their faces.
It has something to do with that, right? But I think it's more of the classism, you know. And for one, I mean, let's be clear, man. This dude, he's a very good showman. He's a damn good showman, man. And that's one of the few things he's good at. You know what I'm saying? He will shine up some shit for you and tell you it's gold, and people will believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Even his own mother called him an idiot.
What's that?
I said even his own mother called him an idiot.
Yeah, but his backers, believe everything, man. They take it in. It's a cult. It's a cult. You know, it's just what it is.
That's all good though, because you know what?
And that's what you do.
See, this is why black people ain't stressed this time around, because we seen the writing on the wall and we've been here before already, right? We know how to survive and cope with this shit. It's like
New York dudes know him. People from New York know this dude.
Yes. Yeah. So we already see the writing on the wall. It's the white people that never had to struggle like this before. Because now they can't use their privilege. Like anytime I see a homeless white person, I'm like, man, you fucked up, bro. There's a job for you somewhere tomorrow. You're just not doing it right. You must be mentally ill or something. Because
Godfrey said in one of his videos way back in the day, you wasted your white privilege.
Yeah. But this time that's not going to work out for you, because you voted for the laws to keep you down this time. There's no getting ahead. There's no leaping the next man. There's none of that. You are just in the boat, bro. And there's no way off the boat this time.
Because they were sold the bad bill of goods that the brown people are taking our jobs, the same jobs that you ain't getting up to go do anyway. The brown people are killing people. The brown people are killing people. The same, not the same, but the killings that are happening amongst your people. Y'all are doing more to killings in this country than us or anybody of melanated skin. But like I said to Tyrone before, it's that magnification of the negative out of a group. You're taking the 0.1% and making it the overall. That's the problem. And they sold these poor white folks that, again, it goes back to the, hey, at least you're not them.
Sure. Yeah.
They sold that to poor white people while keeping them down and telling them like, no, until you are. But it goes back to what O said, because I've even said this before too. This whole fight in the majority is haves versus have-nots. And this right now is the attempt. This is the attempt to make us like a North Korea, like what was it, Turkmenistan, a video I was watching earlier, like where the people just do by the government, never say nothing bad about their dear leader. If you do, you die by fire, you die by, by the freaking, by whatever, by pistol, by gun, whatever, firing squad, whatever. Like we're turning this shit into a dictatorship. We called this out when we talked about how this guy loved dictators. Pause. No pause for him actually. He loved dictators. He kept Stalin and Hitler books by his bedside to read them. How he used to fucking praise Kim Jong-un and all that stuff. Meanwhile, Kim Jong-un is calling us Americans stupid and saying we're dumb and shit like that. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? All these countries out there, you seen that France, the people who gave us the Statue of Liberty that I could go down the block and see across the water. People doing murals with the fucking statue with the face, hands covering the face. Like I didn't, I ain't with that shit type shit. This is about haves versus have-nots. This is about billionaires remaining billionaires and becoming trillionaires and controlling everything, while we, the lower, are now their minions. This is some new slave. This is some new slave shit. I said before.
Yo,
This is
I'm sorry, Dan. I was trying to allude to what you were saying. You said, hey, at least we're not them. You said this is a new slave shit. Yo, you think about it, right? You think about slavery. Slavery, you had the white man on a plantation. Then you had the white man on the horse. You know what I'm saying? They weren't like the white men in plantations. They were lower class white folks, the Irishmen, the whoever from England, the deplorables from England. You know what I'm saying? But they was on a horse with the whips beating us. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's history repeating itself. It may be not. It's not as profound as it was back then, but it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the same concept, the same classism / racism that we deal with, man.
And as I used to say on here before, all this MAGA shit is white, racist, white male Americans' last stand.
It is because the country's changing.
This is their last stand. This is
it.
why they're pushing all this shit through. And even better, the white women that are co-signing and dick riding all of this shit too. If you ain't one of them or top billionaire, nothing like one of them, you're gonna end up just like us too. You're gonna end up just like everybody else too. That's what's crazy about all of this shit. They fucking spit and pissed in your face and told you it was regular it was Poland spring water rain. And y'all niggas drank it. Y'all ate the shit. That's why I made that meme. It was a post that I made. It was of the human centipede shit from. It came up in my Facebook memories, so I just simplified it. I didn't send it to the computer to post, and made it for today's standards, which is exactly this. It's 100% what the fuck is. It's 100% what the fuck is going on right now. Human fucking centipede. You eat what they shit and think it's fucking a gourmet meal. This is exactly what the fuck that they did to y'all, and y'all bought it. Y'all bought it. Y'all fucking bought it. And again, this goes back to my empathy and sympathy, because I do look at myself in a more advantageous position than most, because I have something that I can retire from. Not everybody has that.
No.
And I say all the time, I wish all my people had some shit that we could retire from so we could chill. But now they're putting the fucking ball in motion to where 62, no, you can't retire. Now you gotta work. Now they're gonna put shit in position to where you have to work till you're dead. Because like I said before, they've been openly talking about Social Security. Guess what's coming soon? If they were able to pull this shit off, and fucking that fag JD Vances was able to beat a tiebreaker vote to get this shit through, guess what else is coming soon? Been
half these jobs already don't have no pensions. So, it's coming.
Because of greed. employers don't want to pay out. That's why, like you said, they don't have pensions. Be lucky enough if your job offers a 401k. And if they do, you better put some shit into it because that's your only fucking option.
I'm at the point where I'm kind of like, fuck it. Because I got 10 years left for my union where I can retire like from my union in 10 years, right? But then I'm like, I can go to 62 because I'm like, if I feel good, I can get out. If I don't feel good, I can get out. If I feel good, I can go to 65. I mean, you know what I mean? So like Dan said, I'm happy to be in a decent position. But yeah, I see guys out here now that so for instance, I've seen guys that left the union and got other jobs, like police officers or whatever. And then they only had to do their 20 years and they retired from those jobs and it ain't enough. So now, because they still have union carpenters cards, they're out here with us. But these dudes are already 60 years old. They can't retire. So they work until whenever they actually physically can't work no more because they don't have no retirement because they don't have enough time in our union. So whatever they retired from previous to that wasn't enough money for them to live off of. And so they're back out here working construction now. And there's no retirement for them from construction at this point because they don't have enough years in.
The dude Jerry that I mentioned before with the Hopper Juice story, he was already retired from the post office. He had military time. He's already on 2 pensions. But some people, all they know is work. It's their reason for get up every day. That's why I don't clown people. Like, that's why I don't clown people no more. Like, people used to talk like, oh, when you getting off the job, oh, hey, yo, you can retire tomorrow. You can retire. Once you earn your time and you get past that mountaintop to where you can then say, fuck it, I'm gonna leave. Then if you want to stay, that's on you. That's on you. You've earned that right. You've worked them out, them years and the time to get to that point to do that. Me, I'm watching how this political game is being played. And if I could get the fuck out at 48 years old, still an able body, and collect money for the rest of my life in the city of New York, I think I'm doing that. Because like I said, Social Security is next up on their plate, I'm sure. Why am I going to stay to protect my Social Security income that just might not be there for me if I did stay another 10 to do 30 to get closer to 62? Why? When there's other ways that we all can go out and get that Social Security early also. I'm not giving up all the game that I was taught. I'm not giving it all up. But because this political climate and all this fuck shit that they pulling and putting us in the bind of, oh, you could work. No. How about you fucking work, politician? All y'all get paid 6 figures a year to talk. And to talk for your constituents that you are, once again, you're pissing in their faces. You're pissing in these people's faces. All those fucking Republicans who are probably saying, yeah, my people want this, my people. You just fucking decimated communities with a bill like this.
We can have so much money if they stop paying the presidents. Just stop paying the old presidents. Cut that money off.
They don't even get that. They don't even get paid a lot. Presidents don't get paid that much. They're not in the millions and stuff. They get their money from their other shit.
They get like $200,000 a year or something like that.
Yeah, they get $225 a year.
Yeah,
that's I mean, but in the grand scope, that's not a lot.
He's not looking to cash that check. It's not a lot, but he's not looking to cash. That's not a lot to be free ruler of the free world. No, that's not.
No. That's enough to say. That's enough to say. Hey, we're gonna put this. How many presidents are still alive? Clinton's still getting it. Obama's still alive. Biden's still alive. That's almost $1 million. You can get at least $1 million to put into something else.
Most of them were millionaires. Most of them were millionaires before they even became president.
But they don't need that money. So that's $1 million every year that you could put into something else that you cutting funds for.
Guess what, man? We're not going to see any of that money. That money's going to be so caught up in bullshit.
No.
That I mean, nah. We're
not
that's
mostly the 200,000 is more like a per diem for them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like thanks for showing up, boss. You know what I'm saying? Here's a few dinners.
So they
You know what I'm
not
saying?
going.
Here's a go
They
out.
not gonna
Here's some
care
dry cleaning money to clean my stains off your dress.
So they not gonna miss
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna miss
That's
it. If
the
they
per
really want
diem.
to help the country, they can donate it back to SNAP program or back to
Well,
Medicare or to Planned Parenthood.
If they were good, if they were good people, they just might be doing that. They just might be some of them if they were good people. But no, if you have, stay amongst the haves. I get it, but also too, don't be like one of these people. Like I got a Fortune 500 magazine in the other day. Bill Gates was on the cover. Don't be like a Bill Gates that spends billions and billions and billions of dollars on the medical field to decimate the medical field, to decimate countries. Yeah, put it to if you are a billionaire like that, and there's people out there who believe there shouldn't be billionaires. I understand that, but I don't fully agree with it because if you put the work in to get that money,
Right.
get your money. But it don't hurt. I always say, I always say it don't hurt to be a good person. Just
No,
give back
but
to the
Dan,
right places.
to be a billionaire, you can't be a good person. You did some shady
No.
shit to get to $1
No.
billion. To $1 billion, dog. You did
Yeah,
some
we say
wild
that
shady
all.
shit.
You
You
We
did
say that
some
all the time.
wild shady.
And I
People
I
are
have
missing.
friends,
You
I
made
have
it.
friends
You
who
made it to
believe
$1 billion.
that,
Some
yeah,
people are
nah.
missing, though.
hey,
Some people are
Hey.
missing because you got to $1 billion, yo.
but here's the thing though. There's
They-
a
You
such
can
they'll
wash.
thing.
You
never
can
find
wash
body.
that money in some good. You can wash that money in some good, though. Hey, that's all I'm trying to say.
There's a such thing as redemption and repentance too, though. I'm saying I'll do if you said right now, Tyrone, I can make you a billionaire. You just got to do some shady shit. I'm gonna do the shady shit, right? And I'm gonna be a billionaire, but I'm gonna give back. I'm gonna repent. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Your
At
man
least-
trying
at
to
least give
go
back.
upstairs with a clean slate. He's like, now Tyrone, you did take that deal. You did
All
take
right.
the deal.
Yeah, but my mom and them. But what about what I did for my
I
mom
did give
and
him a
them?
chance for him to kiss his mama.
I helped some people though. I did. Remember, I donated to that school. You know what I'm saying? I did some shit.
But and perfect segue is saying I built that school. Diddy got off on 3 charges, got charged with 2 of the lesser ones.
This nigga clapping. This nigga clapping.
Hold
Go
on, I'll
ahead.
be right.
Go ahead.
I'm clapping because when everybody was saying, when we had the conversation and y'all said, y'all think Trump will pardon Diddy, and I said Diddy not gonna need no pardon because I said Diddy not gonna need no pardon because Diddy probably is not gonna get convicted because, like I said before, the feds charged him, and federal charges and state charges are 2 different things. If the state had charged Diddy with what he should have been charged with abuse and violence and assault and arson and all of that stuff that he did, those are all state charges. If the state charged him with all of that stuff was proven in court. He abused people, he assaulted people, he kidnapped people, he committed arson, he committed breaking and entering, trespassing. All of these crimes were proven in court that Diddy committed, right? They was all state crimes. The Fed crimes were not proven. The RICO, the racketeering, all that shit that was federal crimes, they didn't prove none of that. So had he been charged on the state level, Diddy would be doing life in prison without a doubt. But because
it went harder, it was go hard or go home. It was go hard or go home, and there's a potential that he might be going home because I believe the 2 charges he got charged with were
interstate
like
prostitution,
the transportation of prostitution, interstate prostitution, and another one that was prostitution related, to where the man could very well get bailed out, could get bail because he doesn't have a legit criminal record. So,
right, and both of those
Racketeering didn't stick.
No, both of those charges he got are a maximum 10-year sentence, and I feel like one of them probably going to get thrown out, or they're going to do some kind of time served thing because he don't have he's a first time offender, and he's probably going to get some kind of probation, some fines. Of course, he's going to pay some money. He's going to get some probation, and then they're going to do this here, and they're going to send him home.
Yeah.
Well, I had said he was gonna be busting fireworks for the 4th. I was only half right because he didn't get charged with racketeering, but Yeah, like you said, man, if the state had picked this case up, he would have been doing some time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not sure if the state can still pick it up after all this is done.
Please.
But yeah, man, that Vacatarian, he beat that Vacatarian, so that was the one that was gonna die. He was looking at light.
The only thing I can add to this is another post that I seen where somebody had a sign that said, if you know, look at the if you're wondering why women can't come out and speak out, just look at the results of the Diddy trial.
No, the women, Cassie made the mistake. Cassie made the mistake because Cassie made it a civil lawsuit instead of a trial. Had Cassie went to the police and to the state police and the state authorities and said, "Hey, man, this man kidnapped me. This man abused me physically. This man is doing all these state crimes," the state could have charged him with state crimes. She didn't. She went to a civil lawsuit.
Yes, but she had to do it when it was happening. She didn't do it when it was happening.
That's what I'm saying.
This is years later. This is years later.
So it's not a case of these women being scared to do it. It's a case of you got to do it the right way. You got to do it at the right time, and you have to do it the right way. Cassie did it too late for the criminal part, and she did it civilly, which is not going to charge that man with nothing.
So I have a question. Was the courts able to prove that she was still complicit with these freak-offs after the hotel incident?
I think that's what the results kind of say, though. The results kind of give that like she was complicit.
Yeah. See, well, yeah. Then.
Not that she was complicit. Not that. No. Let me say it wrong because I said it wrong. Because not that she was complicit. Because if she was complicit, then maybe that's where the RICO and the racketeering thing could have been.
Right.
More almost willing participant.
Okay.
Here's the thing. He can beat Cassie up all he wants, and they can prove that he beat her up all he wants. That wasn't part of the trial. He wasn't on trial for assault. He wasn't on trial.
Yeah, he wasn't. Right. Yeah. You can't bring in other charges for something he wasn't charged of. It don't. Right. You can't pile on at that point. You know what I'm saying? That's just,
and like I said,
can't do that.
Diddy, I hate to give a person like that credit, but he's a very smart man because he was a RICO guy. He was a leader of a criminal organization. It just so happens that all the people that was in his criminal organization were also his victims. So when they went for RICO, everybody testifying against him for RICO was involved in the RICO. They were the organization that they were trying to convict him of.
Right.
He had the drug,
and they were giving people immunity and shit like that, right?
Yeah. Even Cassie was part of the criminal organization. She made calls to traffic the prostitute. So if they're going to say, "Hey, Diddy, you're RICO," they would have to go back. Everybody that testified against him is the organization that they're trying to convict him of, which was saying, "Hey, if we convict Diddy of RICO, we got to go back and arrest all the people that helped us with the trial. We got to arrest Cassie. We got to arrest everybody involved."
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't gonna. He ran it. You got to give him. He ran it like a mob organization would be run. You know what I'm saying?
That was a tough charge.
It was, and usually they don't stick you with that unless they got you dead to rights. You know what I'm saying? Like they got hard-earned proof. Usually when the feds come, it's like when the feds come and get you. When the feds subpoena you, they pretty much got you. They just want to hear you say it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, we caught you. You know you're caught. Just admit it, and then we can move along with this. And then if you like, nah, you ain't got shit. All right, fuck around and find out. But you're going to jail.
Here's the thing. They thought they had Diddy dead to rights because of all the things that he was doing, right? They said there had to have been people helping him do it. And they thought they had him dead to rights. But then when they put Cassie on the stand and they said, "Hey, how did he get these guys to come in doing the free calls?" I called them. You know what I mean? If she would have said he had a guy that called them, if she would have said he had a guy that did this, he had people that did that they didn't know of, then they could have said, "Okay, that's the organization." But Cassie said, "I called the guys for the free calls. I set up the arrangement." The Jane Doe girl said, I booked the hotel rooms. I did all the calls. I did the John Doe names and the fake names and stuff. The bodyguards admit that they did something. The only person that was going to get him, even the drug boss said, I brought the drugs myself. I was the drug mule. I brought the drugs myself. Who carried the guns?
Because he wasn't stupid enough to. He wasn't stupid enough to make that shit his own. You know what I'm saying? Why am I going to do it because if I get in trouble, it's all fucked up. So if you get in trouble, I can still live to fight another day.
I think what the government thought, I think what the feds thought was that Cassie and all these witnesses were going to tell about his gang, his people that he had doing the shit. I don't think they realized that he had the same people he was victimizing, he had them doing all the work. And that's where the case went to shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And they were trying to bank on that to see if they could get him, and it didn't work because he didn't leave no fingerprints. There were no fingerprints. He was just adjacent to all the shit. You can be adjacent to it and not be guilty.
It's like, how you don't want to be a part of the freak off when you the one set it up? You booked the hotel room, you called the guy, you brought the guns, you brought the drugs, you put the money up, but you ain't want to do it though. You know what I mean?
Even the assistant, even one of his assistants, they were like, "Oh, but you're all here posted on Facebook and IG. This is the best boss ever. I've gotten to meet so many people, and I've gotten so far in my career." He's just like, it can be both, but it can't be both. You know what I'm saying? Just like
they asked the girl Dawn from Diddy Dirty Money. They was like, why, if you saw all this stuff and Puffy did all these things and he was this bad guy, why were you calling him back? And she said, that was the best part of my career. I needed money. And he was good at what he did for my career. So yeah, despite every bad thing I knew about this man, I still called him up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because she benefited. She still benefited from
it. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. They couldn't turn down the bag. This is why all these people turned their other eye, because they weren't turning down the bag. They weren't turning down that bag. Everybody's got a number, and if the number sounds right, you're gonna turn your head too. $250,000, shit, I ain't see nothing.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it.
Pass me the book bag, dog.
You're gonna have to add a couple of zeros for me to go one of them parties.
That was the worst part about the whole thing. It's like TJ, you a father, you got, Dan's got daughters, I got daughters, right? And my whole thing is like, when they asked him, like, you saw Diddy smack this woman in the face, you saw the stomp out, do all kinds of shit. So what did you do? What did anybody do? Nothing. What did you say? Nothing. A lot of people didn't do nothing. And for me, I might not do nothing because I don't want to touch Diddy. I don't want to put my hands on him. I don't want to do nothing. But for me, bro, I'm out. I would have went to Diddy and said, listen, what you do in your time, you like to beat women, you like to have these freak offs, all that shit, that's fine and dandy. I can't work for you. And now I don't got no beef. I ain't going to testify. I ain't going to do nothing. Just let me leave because I can't.
I'm not he'll let you leave. He'll let you leave. And then when you think it's good, you'll be gone forever, dogs.
No. I'm not going to testify against you. I'm not going to put my hands on you. I'm not going to do nothing. Just let me go home.
There's no sense in this story.
You're talking like you don't know this whole story of Puff's whole story. Like with Kim Porter and Hev and Al B. Shore and dude from Uptown. What was dude name from Uptown, man? People always forget his name. All these dudes either getting sick as hell or dying. You know what I'm saying?
These are all people that's still in the industry, still in the limelight, still got something to do with it. I'm talking about like if I got hired and I was like security for Diddy and I saw some shit, I'm gonna be like, yo, I quit. I ain't coming after you.
You know you dying. You know
I gotta go.
Dude, you got to go. Yeah, you gotta go. Exactly. You gotta go, bro.
Yo,
you're easier to get rid of.
So if he can allegedly get rid of Kim Porter and Heavy D and
as a man, right?
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, as a man that has daughters, TJ, you got a daughter. So if you get hired for Diddy, because remember, nobody didn't know this shit before. Everybody wanted to work for Diddy. He had a show. Who wants to work for Diddy? People wanted to work for him. So if you wanted to work for Diddy, you got hired for him. You with him, and you turn around and he's kicking the shit out of Cassie like a dog on the floor. What do you do?
Yeah, you leave. You leave.
Yeah,
I'm
you
out.
gotta leave.
But listen, Tyrone, I'm not saying, hey, I'm out, I quit. I'm just going, bro. There's no need for me. They were like, yo, what's up with TJ? He didn't show up for work today. I don't know. I haven't heard from him in like 3 days. The fuck?
Nope.
The man is gone. He's gone,
Nope.
bro. He's gone.
Tyrone gonna be
Damn.
like, hey, Mr. Combs, I'm leaving because you was beating on Cassie.
No.
Yeah.
I can't be part of it.
So you want some of this too, young man? You want some of this too?
I was saying that I was going to talk to the man. I was saying I was going to talk to the man because I want to feel safe when I leave. I want to be able to go home and be like, I quit working.
Hey man, my third grandmother's sick, and I need to be by her
man.
bedside. So I'm going.
That's the third grandmother.
I could tell him how I feel from over the phone when I'm on the plane right before I leave and shit from the airport. Hey man, I don't think this is gonna work, man. I took a job in Haiti. Peace. You know what I'm saying? Just out, bro.
And he got people in Haiti.
Yeah, he do.
Dwayne
Good luck
Green
finding me there. Yeah,
I'm just saying that I don't comprehend how grown ass men can be like, I was there, I saw it, and what did you do? Nothing. Like for me, I mentally can't be in that.
You know why? You know why? Because it wasn't nobody they knew. It wasn't nobody there in their family. It just didn't hit the same way, dog.
No, but it goes back to. But hold on, it goes back to the stuff that you mentioned. People mentioned before. The industry is but so big. It looks larger than life, but it's but so big. People fearing for their livelihoods. People fearing for their jobs. You speak out against one person, you get blackballed from the industry. And then now where do you go? This is the only skill I know. Now where do you go? We're in a different place nowadays where being independent in that world is an advantage. You don't have to play those games no more. And if you did say something, you can say something because who's going to do something to you? And then you probably built a newer fan base because I like that dude or I like that woman. They stood up for somebody's rights. They stood up for what was right and what was good. I'm going to make sure I support that. In that era where you had the gatekeepers and shit, it was like if you got put on that no-fly zone list, you was on that list. I just listening to content again. There was a video put together how Gilly was fucking blackballed from the industry. And then he became undeniable with $1 million worth of game. You know what I'm saying? Now it's undeniable.
You gotta understand there were people just happy to be there. Just be in that circle. It's crazy.
Right.
At the end of the day, though, it is people because what happens is this, right? So now you was there, you saw all that shit, and now Diddy gets caught, and the Diddy trial comes out, right? Now I come home every day. If I come home to Brittany and my daughters, and they know that I worked for Diddy all them years, and I come home to Brittany and my daughters right now, and they gonna be looking at me. Brittany gonna be like, you was there, you saw.
I'm glad you brought that.
You know what I mean?
I'm glad you brought that point back up, Tyrone.
You know what I'm saying? My daughter's gonna be looking at me and go, Dad, you was there. You let all that shit happen. Now I'm looking at it as different. I'm looked at as a different kind of man in my house, man.
Tyrone, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because that take isn't always valid for everybody because Diddy is a father of daughters.
Yeah. And I thought that his daughters being at and allowed in that courtroom was the most disgusting thing I ever seen in my life. You did all this. Diddy should have mandated that his daughters not be allowed in that courtroom. You gonna let your own daughters come in?
But Tyrone.
But even still, it becomes public record. They wasn't going to avoid it. There was no avoiding this. As the beat said, no escaping this.
Your daughters can say that, and you be like, yes, but you know what? Diddy got us this nice house. He put you all in the best schools. He got you the best clothes. And this is what I had to do to make sure you were good. It sounds fucked up.
You took the You took the words out of my mouth. I was like, yo, I was gonna say, yo, Tyrone, are you gonna have this conversation in the projects, or are you gonna have this conversation
No,
in Riverdale in Whitestone?
You want to you want to
with
cry
the
in the
6-bedroom house.
you want to
what I'm saying?
cry
Like,
in the
where we
Toyota
have this
Camry,
conversation?
or do you want to cry in the Mercedes
yeah, I
Benz?
mean,
Which one? Are you gonna
Exactly.
that's the truth of the matter. But you know, your wife or your kids not going to say
Your
they not
wifey,
gonna-
your
they
wife is
gonna be-
married to you, and she got the
no,
rock
but they
that
gonna
she
be, but
wanted
still,
because of
TJ,
the money you've made, dogs.
they gonna have to stand down. Here's the thing: they will have to stand down when I say that. Like, look, me being with Diddy provided you with all this shit. So yeah, I can
Right.
shut them up, but they're gonna
Right.
look at me. They still mentally gonna look at me different.
Yes.
They're gonna look at me
Yes.
as they're not
Yes.
gonna look at me as the protecting the
They better
man that
keep
I
it to themselves.
them.
They better
Right.
keep it to themselves.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying that I'm gonna know that now. I'm not the same man. I'm not the same man that I was to my children. I'm not the same man that I was to my wife.
Listen,
bro.
you could explain it. I was morally compromised, but at that time, you know what I'm saying?
I
I was morally compromised, but listen, I provided you. I mean, we got 2 dogs. You guys love the dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, we had
What
lobster
the
tails.
fuck?
Yo, we
Love
had
the
lobster
dogs,
tails
you know what
on
I'm
the
saying?
grill.
You know what I
Lobster
mean?
tails on the grill. What you want? Hot dogs on the grill?
Y'all
Remember
also-
Disney? Disney was amazing. Remember the
Y'all
Bahamas
also-
trip? You know what I'm
But
saying?
y'all also know me. Y'all also know me. Y'all been talking to me on this podcast. Y'all know I don't have no tact. If Brittany came to me right now and was like, "So you watch Cassie get beat up?" I don't know that bitch. We in. You know what I mean? That's how it's gonna come out, bro. That's how it's gonna come out.
Like, I can't hear you. I'm stabbing crab legs right now. I can't hear you.
King crab legs.
King crab legs is bad.
Hey,
I think some shit
wait
that
a
get me in
minute. Are you
trouble.
it's do you still want to do that trip with your girls to Europe next year? Oh, okay.
Hand them car keys.
Okay.
Hand them car keys over. Hand them over then. You feel bad for
Yeah.
Cassie? Give them car keys.
Yo,
And that's
last
fucked up,
thing,
but it is.
But it's still not nice.
No, it's not right.
Still not nice.
last thing, because we're done after this. Just a quick minute or two each. O and TJ, Mike Brown.
Ooh, I like the hire and I don't like the hire. He's a good coach. I can't front. He's a good coach. He made it to a finals. He's been coach of the year twice. He's got a winning playoff record. He definitely
Doesn't he have championships with the Warriors?
He does have championships. He as an assistant, he has 4 chips with the Warriors and I think 1 with the Spurs. He's come up under some of the best coaches in the league. Popovich, Kerr. I think he worked with Malone a little bit. Like he's definitely come from championship pedigree coaches. He's come from a good lineage of coaches. He's coached Kobe and LeBron. Not too many can say that. Not too many can say that as a head coach. And he went to the finals with LeBron, even though LeBron pretty much carried that team. Still, all in all, I think he can get more out of the bench rotation for sure, because he won't be as rigid as Tibbs. I think the assistant coaches will have more say, which is good. I think it won't be such a binary. I'm doing the talking, nobody else talks. I think it'll be a more open platform with the players and the assistants to see what is working and what is not working. Hopefully he can motivate Cat to move his feet and play defense. That's just one of the big things I could hope he can coach him to do. But we'll see. I mean, the East is the Knicks to lose next year. You got Tatum out in Boston. You know, your man went from the Pacers to the Bucks. And Halliburton's out. I mean, Giannis, there's no little with Giannis. They just got 2 big dudes over there. So, I mean, the East is for the Knicks to lose next year.
Oh, and then Tyrone, I have a separate question for you, and then we're going to get out of here.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Like TJ said, man, the East is wide open. You know, Mike Brown, he hasn't really proved anything as a head coach. He has rings as an assistant coach. you know, he's dealing with an owner that is kind of similar to what he had in Sacramento, being not one of the better owners, you know, one of the better owners in the NBA with James Dolan. Yeah, I have to wait and see. It's a lot of variables. Is Rick Brunson still going to be on? You know,
Yes, yes, yes,
is
he
he
is.
bringing his own?
Yes, he is.
Okay,
They
I
already said
mean,
Brunson Pops is there.
okay. So I mean, yeah, we have to see, man, because the players already said they don't like Rick Brunson, you know, as a whole. So is that going to cause problems? You know, is he lost the locker room in Sacramento? Is that going to be a problem when he gets to New York? You know, again, this is a very weak. This year
But
we're
he
gonna have a
also,
very weak. We're gonna have a very weak
but
East
but he
this year.
but he also brought Sacramento to the playoffs for the first time in like 20 years.
Yes,
And he had the
but
third ranked offense in the entire league. You know what I'm
that is
saying?
also true.
Like he
That is
didn't
also
have the
true.
pieces to get him over that hurdle. I agree with that as well. You know what I'm saying? Like
That is true.
So much
De'Aaron
for
But
Fox
Christmas.
and yeah,
anything
sorry.
less than getting to the finals is a failure. You know what I'm saying? Anything less than
Yeah,
getting to the finals is a failure. So that
You
has
yeah.
to
just
be kept
stepped
in
right
mind.
in Tyrone's realm. Thanks. You just stepped right in Tyrone's realm. But no,
Oh, my
Ty, the
fault.
question I have for you. Nah, that's all right. But no, I said you stepped in Tyrone's realm of anything less than the finals is that
Well,
statement.
I mean, no, and only reason why I say that is because Tibbs brought us to the conference finals. You know, and
Yeah, I get it.
again, I hate talking about game one conference finals, but you know, things would have been different or whatever. You know, had things been different. But
Right. Now,
so yeah, you know, we were
Tyrone,
that
now the
close.
question I have for you. The question I have for you. Lakers ownership change. Quick thoughts on your feelings about that.
My feelings about that is that I think that the changing of the Lakers ownership is not good for the Lakers team or good for the Lakers fan base because the Bucks family had a fucking standard of excellence. And the Lakers have lived up to that standard of excellence. Like I said, it's championship or bust every year for the Lakers. Lakers fans are used to winning. We're used to excellence. We're used to a standard. We're used to being on top. And I don't know if this new ownership group just wants to own a team. I don't know these people. I don't know how much passionate they are. I don't know if they're going to adhere to the standard because the Buss family had a standard of winning, a standard of championships, a standard of wanting to
Now,
be number one. And I don't know if new ownership is going to live up to that standard or if they just cool with just being, if they cool with just having the ownership of the Lakers.
No,
that Bucks
they're
family has
not
been
because
delusional for years. But go ahead, Steve.
here's why. Because the guy who bought the Lakers owns the Los Angeles Dodgers as well. And he spent a shit ton of money on the Dodgers in the last 2 or 3 years to make sure they stay on top. They got one of the best pitching staffs in all the league. They have one of the greatest hitters of all times. And they make sure they keep those seats packed. So I think you're going to get the same level of ownership that he has for the Dodgers as he has for the Lakers. You're walking into, it's not good because you just went from a family to like more of a company type deal, which families I think run organizations better than a corporation does. You know, they got more human. Yeah, the love is there.
Baseball
So,
has no
but
salary cap, so that's we can't use that example.
And
right.
and also to end this, I also learned that guy allegedly has donated millions and millions of dollars to ICE. So
Yes,
fuck
at
ICE.
private prisons.
Boycott the Lakers and the Dodgers.
I got. Wait,
If
I'm
he
not
if he
boycotting the
donated
Lakers. I'm sorry, I
if
can't
he
do it.
donated if he donated to ICE, fuck him.
I
So
got one
that's
more
why
thing
I
to
showed
say.
up at Dodger Stadium.
I got one more thing to say though. I don't like. I'm just going to address this, and my hate for LeBron is spewing again because Rich Paul went out and said that LeBron wants to do whatever he thinks brings him closer to winning another championship. And LeBron opted into his player option to stay on the Lakers, which does not bring him closer to a championship. So I feel like they talk, like I think He's trying to act like LeBron ain't in it for the money, but I think that $52 million is why LeBron opted into his contract with the Lakers, because if
You're
Rich
damn
Paul
right
Well,
it
guess
is.
what?
wants to win a championship, he wants the money. They're not going hand in hand. Somebody's lying.
Well, Tyrone, guess what? New ownership came. I made that deal with them. I'm not letting you off the hook. So I ain't mad at LeBron. And with that being said, you know what to do, Tyrone.
Glad to be here. I'm sorry I was a little late today, but I got invited somewhere else, and your boy is in popular demand. Like, no, I really only got invited to that show because I was talking so much shit about Ironheart there. I made Corey mad. So he invited me on so they could jump me. Same way y'all did. Y'all want to jump me on here. So, but I'm all good with it because y'all know I'm not ducking no smoke, not dodging no fights. I'm here every time I could be here, and I'm going on anybody else's show at any time. I'm just saying that I'm still undefeated, and I'm going to just go with that.
I'm gonna pass it over. Pass it off to you.
I guess
you.
I don't know who it is.
Okay.
I didn't know who
All
it
right.
is.
All right. Great show, man.
No, you were first, CJ.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
No,
'cause
go.
OB
It
Yeah,
goes.
so
he
yeah,
did.
so great show, man. Great show today, man. I like talking shit with y'all. But yeah, I forgot about bringing up Ironheart, and give y'all a chance to, I guess, watch it. It's only 6 episodes. It's all right. It's all right, man. Little surprise at the end. You know what I'm saying? I think y'all enjoy. But nah, man. Great show, man. I enjoyed it. Shout out to the listeners. Shout out to my boy Jamal who in here. Yeah, man. That's about it, man. Pass it off to TJ.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry. Oh, you was on time today, so it threw me off. You know what I'm saying? Who was going next? Yeah, I watched that Ironheart bullshit. We'll talk about that next week because I don't like your slogan. You know what I'm saying, Ty? You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know what you liked about it. I know what I disliked about it. So we can get into that next week. Talk about this Marvel bullshit. But, it was a great show. Good time. Definitely lovely out here. Can't wait to do it again next week. And we'll have plenty of content with the way this bullshit's going on. So looking forward to next week for sure.
I gotta go see if this is a big ass spider or something over here soon. But anyway, y'all know what it is. 20% off your order at hoaxrub.com, 10% off at W, our affiliates. Yeah, man. I guess I'm gonna have to check and see if we do have Disney Plus still, so to get up on these 6 episodes. I have been off of the last few years of Marvel series, part because I don't lock myself into television like I do with podcasts. So I guess I got to get back up on it because people are talking shit. I think a lot of people are probably talking shit for the wrong reasons. Maybe hardcore Marvel fans are talking shit for the right reasons. We'll see. I'll put my own perspective on it when I get to it. But with that being said, yeah, we done. Fuck Ice. Fuck this big ugly bill. And we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
I'll fuck y'all.
Sir.
Peace.